Do you like basketball? Basketball, no. I like, but I'm not good at. Yes, I'm not.
Me too.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the State of the League podcast, the only NBA podcast talking about every draft pick from the first round of the NBA draft. I'm your host, Jack.
A lot of people forget 18.
Yeah. A lot of people forget. They're like, we don't need to talk Pete, dude. And I'm like, I'm talking Pete. You fucking better believe it.
Who was pick 18? I don't even know.
Pick 18 was Christian Anderson.
Oh, okay.
A lot of people think Steinbach, and they're like, dude, Hornets got their guy, and they just forget about the second pick there. Okay. I'm Jack, aka joestar. With me, as always, world famous Pablo Escobar. We are joined today by the smartest fucking draft guy in the world, Ben Pfeifer. Yeah. Vertical shake. Shake your head, dude.
Jerry West died. It's okay. You could take it.
Oh, is that recent, or has he been dead?
He's been dead 2 years now, maybe?
Okay. So the second consecutive reigning world champion, smartest draft guy in the world, Ben Pfeifer. Ben, how are you?
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me on. Don't know about all that, but it is rest in peace to Jerry, Lakers legend, Los Angeles legend, so I gotta pay my respects.
Clippers legend. Was he in charge of the Paul George stuff? Was he the guy pushing for that?
It's a great question. I'm gonna just assume no, yes. I don't know. I don't really care.
What fucking franchise was he with?
I believe no. I believe
I don't want to besmirch his good name.
What franchise was he with? What?
He there was a franchise he was with where he was like making moves. Maybe he was with
the Warriors.
Oh, that's what it was.
He was like, if you trade Clay for Kevin Love, I'll kill myself.
That is what I'm thinking of.
Fine,
yes.
Jerry, you freaking geriatric weirdo.
Fucking lunatic.
Guess we'll keep you alive.
This old
we'll
guy.
Keep Clay. Little did they know, though. So, would they have been a worse basketball team? Of course. Would they have potentially ruined some of their championships? Maybe. But Kevin Love never cheated on Megan Thee Stallion. So, in terms of character, it would have been a superior addition.
Yeah.
Kevin Love, mental health advocate.
Yeah.
Health advocate.
It matters more because Kevin Love used to be fat and now he's sexy. And so the fact that he's not cheating, that's like, if he can withhold Clay, what excuse do you have, dude? Your freaking knee hurts. Come on, man.
But he does have a house in the Hamptons. So it's either massive feat not cheating in the Hamptons, or everyone cheats in the Hamptons. We keep it on the DL, and we just don't hear about it.
I don't know.
It's
another
this,
world.
Like, what happens in the Hamptons stays in the Hamptons type.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm gonna say, yeah. Like I'm on the wrong. I was born on the wrong side of the tracks from the Hamptons. I'll never be a Hamptons guy. I don't think.
Can't say I have been there either, but.
You're a California guy though, so you're a different kind of elite. It's like There's I don't know. There's something that happens to you when you're young and the weather's bad, and you lost that formative experience, and so
you grew up in California.
I did.
Yeah, it's when you don't have like. Are kids in California ever like, oh man, I don't want to go to school? Because like 90% of the time I didn't want to go to school, it was because it was pitch black and 0 degrees.
Well, I didn't want to go to school because I didn't have friends and got bullied. So yes.
Oh, well, the bullies are they probably scale higher in California because they're really cool. They skateboarded.
Honestly, looking back at it, the kids who bullied me in middle school and stuff were not even that cool. It was kind of a disappointing result from me, if we're honest. There's one guy.
It's not even the big fish in the freaking.
There's one guy who's kind of cool now. Wasn't even that serious of a bully. He was kind of a dick, but it wasn't it wasn't the.
What does kind of cool mean without doxing him?
He has a cool Instagram presence. He's got a lot of followers and has good style. I don't really know much about his life, but
okay.
Oh, he has a lot. Does he have more emotion than you?
It's a great question. I haven't checked in a bit. I don't know.
Well, it depends what we're talking. If you're talking Huz on the Instagram, probably. But if we're talking, what has he talked about Kevin O'Connor with? Probably fucking nothing, dude. So
Does he know Kingston Fleming? No way.
yeah, dude, he doesn't know how to break down film like that. Yeah, I don't know. Well, we usually do 20 minutes of bullshit at the beginning of these, but this is a free episode, right? And so for the off season, those
20
are like an
minutes
hour,
of
an hour and a half.
bullshit.
Actually, we don't have to
We can do
pad.
more bullshit in the off season.
We will.
People are here for business to hear
Mhm.
why their draft pick was ass.
When I was writing my notes, that's kind of like I was like, am I just a negative guy? Because every question I have is just like, why is this guy not fucking terrible? It's like Cam Boozer's the only one where I'm like, God, why is this guy so great? There's like a negative tone to like everything else, I suppose. But that's probably just a me problem. I feel like, okay, first overall pick, Ben. I want to know why the Wizards made the correct choice by taking AJ DeBanso. What do you think? We've gotten more reports in the last like 12 hours that they've had their mind made up for several weeks at this point, I
What?
guess. Yeah. So
Shams lied?
it was all subterfuge, dude. What the heck? And so, yeah, what do you think about AJ's game ultimately led Washington to taking him number 1 overall?
Yeah, I mean, hard to complain too much about it. I have Boozer 1, but I think AJ is a perfectly good choice for the number 1 pick. I kind of viewed all of my top 3 guys in a bit of a tier. And yeah, if you're looking for like a primary 1A scorer, AJ is probably your guy. Like, he is a ridiculously talented live dribble advantage creator, can create dunks in the half court out of nothing. And he has some of the best like footwork and shot making chops of pretty much any wing prospect I've ever seen. But I do think like he has room to grow as a defender, especially off the ball. He's got room to grow as a decision maker with the ball. Like, he's never really. I'm curious to see how it's going to go because he's never really played off the ball like he is going to
Yeah.
now. Like, he has pretty much like never played with crazy talent in his career. So I'm curious to see how he adapts. I could see some potential like early growing pains, but ultimately I think AJ is just so talented and I'm not that worried about him long term.
Mhm.
Is it just Team USA? Did he play off ball, or was that just entirely transition slop against 5 foot
It's so hard.
Croatians?
Yeah. I mean, it's so hard to take anything away from that. But also not really. I think there are moments where like players can show that. Like, I think of Dylan Harper as a great example when he was playing like up in age group with the Team USA in the summer, and he was like doing a bunch of like cutting and closeout attacking and stuff, and I was like, wow, this guy can really play off the ball. And then turns out that's exactly what he's good at. AJ was not like that, but like you kind of alluded to, it is like so much like transition slop when you're watching those like FIBA games that it's hard to like really take anything away.
Mm-hmm.
And then in high school, like he was the only guy on his team, really.
and every year people are like, this U17 team is the best U17 team I've ever seen.
I saw a stat that like I think I saw a stat say that like the U.S. is like 51-0 all time in like U17 games. It's like, so maybe they're right.
Maybe, yeah, maybe it just keeps building momentum, and we're gonna hit like a boiling point. The teams are gonna be too good eventually.
What did RJ win that one year for Canada?
Good question. It might have been U18.
And that turned out to be, there was a lot of disappointments on that Team USA team, right? Like, that was a reddish team.
Yeah, FIBA U18 America Cup, I think. Wait, no. This is recent. Just kidding.
Mm-hmm.
This Google AI summary is lying to me. That's shocking.
Dude, Google AI has fucked. There's probably 4 different guys where I Googled blank height wingspan, and they're like he's 6'8", and I'm like, I know he is not that. Like, he's either way taller than that or way shorter than that, and they're just like.
It was U19, so confirm that.
Okay.
Well, that
Beast
should
mode,
be
RJ.
that should be freaking Ginobili gold medal upskill for RJ Barrett, but Pablo hates him. So.
It felt like it at the time, but then you watch him play at Duke, and you're like, okay, this is a disaster.
Okay, well, he's averaging 20. Zion's dead. Cam Reddish disappeared. So
He's
who's
not
the
dead.
real
He's
winner?
gooning, dude. Once he finishes, he'll be back.
Okay. He's edging. He's been edging for years in New Orleans. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. AJ rocks. I think it's tough to talk about AJ without contrasting him with the other two guys here, so we can move on to Peterson
wait.
next.
What?
You got
one more thing. Wait, do I still have it, or did I just lose it immediately? It was something about his situation on the Wizards.
Trey
I'll
Young.
come back to you.
I've lost it. Go to the next one.
Okay. Darren Peterson. The questions I have for him in Utah are: first of all, do you believe the creatine story? Or like it seems like most NBA franchises were like, he'll be fucking fine. The hamstring's fine, dude. So like the long-term health isn't that scary for you?
Not really. I mean, it was scary enough for me to have Boozer 1, but not scary enough for me to like really fade him. It's just like I generally, based on what I know, like believe in his ability to get back to the level of athlete that he was pre-Kansas. And even like I think there were moments, and it makes sense with his like cramps and the rhythm, like that some days he looked more athletic than others. Like there were some games where he looked like himself back from high school, and just a lot where he didn't. So that's like, I guess it's concerning from like we just haven't seen it to the extent we wish we have. But yeah, I'm not particularly concerned about the long-term stuff. And I think he was better in college, honestly, in a lot of his weakness areas than like some people have given him credit for. But yeah, I like his fit in Utah quite a bit. I think he is going to add like a much needed dimension to that offense of like some real like creation juice at his peak. And underratedly for Utah in that backcourt, somebody who can actually defend. It's a miracle.
Yeah. Well, he'll have his plate full on that end of the floor. I think.
Oh yeah, he will.
This is three guys. I don't know if you can find a more negative Keontae George phone call. I feel bad, but yeah.
I mean, I'm like, I understand the appeal. I understand like why Keontae is interesting and like what makes him good on offense. Like his defense has been, and he wasn't like that terrible of a defensive prospect. Baylor's defense, among many other college defenses, are just so fake. Like it's so hard to really predict. Like Jacoby Walter, I thought was pretty stinky on defense in college, but has been like quite solid in the NBA. So like, who knows?
Yeah. And so my second question, you touched on it a little bit, the difference between how Peterson played in high school versus college, despite he was very good at both levels, but these were pretty different like styles of basketball that he was playing. I'm just curious, like, what stood out to you about those two levels of basketball and how you would like to see them blend together as he goes towards the Jazz.
Yeah, Peterson in high school was like a high volume slasher who people had like worries about his 3-point volume, which wasn't a worry that I particularly shared, but it was definitely out there. And like, he completely assuaged those concerns and was like one of the best off movement, off dribble shot makers. So I think just with more burst and like flexibility, like I think you could see him just struggle to like bend at the waist and turn the corner on a pick and roll in college compared to what he did. And I also just think like the spacing and like the offensive setup was so awful. Like he was playing with two non-shooting bigs for a ton of his time. And like a bunch of other like non or shaky shooting wings and perimeter players. That team didn't have a real point guard. Like it was not a great environment. But I think I've often in the past said that like I value when players show that they can excel in different ways at different levels in different teams and like show different things. And I do think Darren Peterson is a good example of that. So I think like marrying the best of what he has been at all levels presents a like potential best player in the world case for at least stretches. But even if not, I think he's going to be like a ridiculous secondary player who is phenomenal offensively, but also adds a ton of value on defense, like we've been talking about.
Pablo, what are you thinking about in the dark over there?
Yeah,
every time I look at you, I crack up.
It's just glasses in the dark.
Unfortunately, this Utah team looks pretty good. They're setting up a good foundation. We need
Yeah, I agree.
we need to cut Keontae loose, which it seems like they may be willing to do it because they don't want to pay him a big extension. But I mean, we've been hearing this for years with Walker Kessler, so who knows when they get that deal done, because Danny Ainge needs to win every deal by 10,000%. As far as what was it? Oh, yes. So how do you feel about him on ball as a point guard? He has said that he wants to be a point guard, right? Are you number one, a passing doomer? And number two, do you think it's possible is he good enough as a passer to become a point guard? And is it worth it to up his load, which could possibly come at the cost of his defense?
I think he certainly could do that at his peak. I am definitely higher on his passing than a lot of like draft Twitter people potentially. I think his playmaking, at least like in terms of my charting and just my eye test, really reminds me a lot of like how Dylan Harper was a passer in college. Like, not maybe the highest level like manipulator, or even though Peterson did a lot of that in high school and AAU, or like not hitting these crazy high level passes, but just like an absolute machine against pressure, like drawing double teams. And I think that's such an important point of playing like quote unquote point guard, is like being able to actually like break down defenses and pressure the baskets. So I think Peterson, like, I see his pass. I think there's so many examples of, your Shea or your Anthony Edwards, like guys who weren't great passers at this level, developing into good enough or very good passers, depending on the player, just because they have so much gravity and they get so many chances and reps to improve and see defenses. So I think Peterson, like, he's not like a quote unquote like traditional point guard by any means, but I do think he can be, again, like a Shea, Anthony Edwards level quote unquote lead initiator. Even like Jalen Brunson has improved a ton as a passer over the last couple of years, just like playing off his gravity. So I think I'm definitely not a passing doomer. He has some real issues as a playmaker. I think his like vision on skip passes is nothing special, but ultimately I think he's too good of a scorer and has shown too much in the past as a playmaker for me to be too out on what he can be as like a primary option. And I think in Utah, is it like Will Hardy, Pablo's guy? I mean, it's a system it's a system that, really kind of enhances the playmaking value of a lot of players. Like, I think, our guy Keontae is a great example of a guy who's like a good passer.
The subsidy.
Yeah.
I forgot you called him that. Yeah, the subsidy. Yeah.
Yeah. That is I think a clear bonus of the Will Hardy system is like generating passing options where like beyond the player. So I think that's a great fit for Peterson early on as he like settles in, but I do think he could expand beyond that as he ages and matures and gets better.
It's very interesting how dynamic he is off the ball, because that never really shows up with guys with this specific profile. Like you mentioned, Edwards and Shea. Neither of those guys were close to what he is off the ball. I don't even know who would be the last dynamic on-ball offensive prospect that was this great off-ball. And so even if the passing doesn't come along to a high degree, like he's going to have playmaking value and potentially a lot of gravity off the ball.
For sure.
So
for sure.
He's going to be, if healthy, he's going to be pretty nuts. So, but I pray to God they trade Bryce, because this has just knocked him even further down the pecking order.
Damn. That's unfortunate. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's my big concern. I don't know. Not with Peterson himself, but with the Jazz next year trying to win basketball games, is I don't like Lowry or Jaren Jackson. I mean, Walker Kessler, Mr. Triple-Double that one time. None of those guys are like super high-level connective passers at all. And so I feel like Keontae George, they've bet on him a little bit by putting this team together, but he will have like a very high responsibility.
Could also be a lot of Isaiah Collier playmaking, because like he's like the only guy on that team who was like a legit like plus passer off the dribble, and like he has his issues. But he was
crazy. I think he was 7th in assists per game this year. We were like running through assist leaders.
Yeah,
and it was
his potential assist numbers, his like rim assist, 3-point, like all of the basic and advanced passing numbers, basically since he started like playing real minutes, have been nutty.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay.
I one last concern. I'm a little worried about Peterson getting easy buckets after timeouts because Utah was the second worst after timeout scoring team in the league, only behind my current coach Thiago Splitter in Portland. So another L for Will Fraudy. We'll see how it works out.
Wow. No, yeah, we'll see how it works out. Sorry, Darren Peterson. You've been fucking drafted with ankle
You're
weights
gonna
on.
transition
Really?
to half court only. You're not getting a single thing after a timeout, dude.
Yeah, sorry.
No, Darren's gonna like come off a screen and he's gonna be wide open and he's gonna miss and he's gonna be like, "Damn, Will Hardy, why'd you draw that play up?"
What the fuck?
Darren's gonna
dude?
need to take the clipboard. Is what's gonna need to happen.
Okay. The nerdiest man of all time. Well, really, he's not nerdy at all. He's super handsome and cool, Cam Boozer. But the man the nerds love.
He does seem like a very cool dude. I totally agree with that.
Yeah, yeah. I fuck with Cam Boozer. Oh god damn it, dude. I forgot I had my fireworks on. I'm sorry. I like Cam Boozer a lot. My question with him is just, what do you think led to him falling to 3? This is, again, quoting nerdsontwitter.com. I believe it was, he's been the best prospect in the class for 5 years at this point. And a lot of other spreadsheet guys feel that way. So why do you think he got all the way down to Memphis?
I will say I think Peterson was just like a tick better based on just the height, like, just like the pre-NCAA information. But yeah, I mean, Boozer, I don't know. Like, I think teams are getting better at drafting, but still there are blind spots when it comes to like athleticism and like ceiling concerns, which I just don't share with Cam. Like he's not a crazy explosive athlete, and like, yeah, maybe he'll have more concerns scoring against length, but he is gigantic, was the best player in college basketball as an 18-year-old, and is truly one of the best playmakers I've evaluated in my time scouting the draft, regardless of size, but especially when you factor in that he is taller than most guys. It is ridiculous the kind of stuff that he can do as a playmaker. So I think, he's going to shoot the hell out of the ball. I think his handle is a limiting factor, but he doesn't need to be like a crazy ball handler to succeed. If he can just improve enough to where he's functional on drives. And then defensively, like, do you want to play him with another rim protector? You have Zach Edey. Great. You'd like to play him with some like rangier guys who can cover for him a bit. But ultimately, I think he's just like too smart and strong to be like a bad defender at his peak. I think there are too many ways that he can impact the game. Like, his hands are awesome. Really high steal rate guy for like a big wing forward type, which is kind of how I view him. But yeah, I love Cam Boozer. I mean, the Grizzlies obviously pulled a heist. I think everyone knows that, like, or at least most people who are plugged in and like nerds, like you said, nerds on the internet definitely know that. And I think, I mean, they're very, very different prospects. And I don't think Cam is like as good as prospect Luka, but I think it's going to be a similar discussion where like people were low on him for all the wrong reasons. Then he walks into the league and they're like, oh, well, what? He's like, sniffing like a top 50 player in his first year. Like, how did this happen? He was slow.
I mean, that's the thing I hated watching. And I could see it when the Wizards won the lottery a mile away. I could see the snowball developing where it's like, dude, AJ, he can jump out of the gym. And it's like, yes, like, those are definitely like it's dope that he can do that. And it adds so many different aspects to his game. But like, we are seeing so many different kinds of athlete dominate the NBA right now, between Jokic being as good as he's been for so long, Jalen Brunson just being really good on the way to a title, Shea, like all these different guys who are just, not vertical athletes necessarily. But
I've said this for a while, but like, athleticism to me is generally a floor trait. Like, I think being a crazy athlete like gives you a floor, but it's not necessarily something that sets your ceiling. Like it can be, in like the case of an Anthony Edwards or Giannis or whoever. But like, yeah, I think people get way, or at least in like mainstream scouting discussions, get way too caught up on like the traditional like run jump athleticism. We're like, all of these guys we listed have like elite athletic traits, whether it's like balance or coordination or like decel or whatever it is, and you do need that. Like, that is important, but definitely not in the way that like a lot of people think to me. So
Yeah. And I did want to ask you about Boozer. The number one thing people talk about, the processing. He's got basketball mind, baby. And you touched on it earlier, where I don't love when a selling point on a player is he is good at something for his size. You hear like when a guy is a good passer for a big, it's like if that comes at the cost of like serious rim protection or something, I don't really care. But with Boozer, this is more like a genuine like floor bending trait that he has. What do you think about him as a playmaker?
He's ridiculous regardless of his size. And again, but I think like one, it is important to be big as a playmaker. It just opens up your options. I do like a bunch of my passing charting, and in terms of mine, just like main like passing quality metric, Boozer is of the last two classes like clearly number one by a considerable margin. And it is like his processing, his quick decisions are his superpower, but like he is unbelievable against pressure. Like the way that he can see the floor against double teams is crazy. He's a crazy passer, like on the move when he gets the, like a short roll or an advantage extension in space. And I think his passing is potentially only going to be limited by, what level of dribbler and like his ball skills, because like you'll see moments at Duke, like there's a pass that I remember against like Virginia Tech where we drove to the left and saw a shooter in the right corner and like can't really throw like a left-handed pass, so he threw it with two hands and it was a little bit high, but it was still a great pass. So I think stuff like that, but ultimately I think that kind of stuff is developable. Like it is very hard to develop someone's ability to like see the floor and to think the game like Boozer, but I do think you can develop technical passing skill over the years, and I have a good bit of faith in Boozer's ability to do that. And I think in that case, it just like totally juices up what he can be as I think potentially one of the most prolific shot creators in the entire NBA.
Mm-hmm.
And also one that doesn't need to dominate the ball, which is hugely important to me.
Pablo, what are you thinking about? Oh, okay. We're gonna do the whole intro. It's pretty long.
Mike Conley. One flew away from being dead. Tony Allen, podcaster. Zach Randolph, 50. Marc Gasol, back in Europe. Tayshaun Prince, don't know. The grit and grind Memphis Grizzlies, long gone. Embrace Ja Morant, a flashy new guy. Jaren Jackson, soft. Oh, shoot, we're going to reach that. Okay, too early.
Mm-hmm.
The grit and grind Grizzlies are back.
Nice. Okay.
I'm also a Cam Boozer one guy. I think he's the safest bet to be a great player.
This guy's gonna get copyright strike to hell.
Don't worry, we're not monetized.
Get us on that.
We're not monetized.
If you want to support the channel, you have to go to patreon.com/State of the League. You watching this means nothing to us.
But they also took Kareem Lopez in this draft, right?
They did.
So we're just getting the biggest guys possible. They're just.
I'm not so crazy about Lopez. We can talk about that later, but like, I feel like you have to think about it as Kareem Lopez plus 5 second-round picks.
Yeah, they were farming.
Because they traded down 5 spots to get him, and like, I'm not so crazy about Kareem Lopez, but if you're like, you get Kareem Lopez at 21 and you get 5 second-round picks, I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm totally in on that. Absolutely.
But yeah, I think Cam Boozer is a safe bet to be one of the better offensive engines in the league. He's obviously, he could brute force his way to the rim. He's an incredible shooter. The passing is incredible. I think his impact is gonna be less in your face, and it's going to be more Tyrese Halliburton-esque, where it's like the numbers aren't as sexy as all the top point guards, but it's like, God, they just keep pumping out 130 offensive rating seasons, and he's really like, to me, like a stealth Jokic model, where it's like, all right, let's decrease the size a little, let's decrease the touch and the scoring like efficient, or the scoring prodigiousness, but now we've upped it from the 3-point line. He's a way better 3-point shooter, and he could just fly around setting screens, making these connected passes. Like he's like a deployable brick wall that can also shoot lasers. It's crazy. So I
should
think
also be better on defense than Jokic too at his peak.
Well, I am a very big skeptic on Cam Boozer.
Well, this is a pretty low bar. I mean,
You-
Jesus, you should be
Well,
better than Jokic.
I never
Come
said it was.
on,
I
dude.
never said it was a high bar.
No, I agree with you. I'm just saying for you to say that and Pablo be like, I don't know if I can get behind that right now. It's so crazy.
Because Jokic he's found ways to. Well, I guess Cam Boozer will do the same. Where like in specific matchups, his strength will be an asset, but I think he's really not good at protecting the rim at all.
I
And-
generally share the defensive concern angle with Boozer. To be clear, I just think
Yeah.
Mhm.
his
And-
offense
and-
is gonna be so good.
And if he gets switched out into isolation, it's not going to be the most comfortable time. But I think at Duke, nobody really picked on it too much, and I don't know if they will in the NBA too. I mean, this Memphis team, if they keep building out, right now they have Edey, they have him, they have Coward at the 3. I mean, we're just building the freaking labyrinth from Maze Runner, and so everyone's going to be trying to squeeze through these little walls that are closing in on them.
Excellent,
So we'll see if
excellent,
it shows up.
excellent book series, and also I enjoy the films as well.
I've only seen the one movie with Will Poulter ruined my sense of immersion. I remember that. I remember being like, this guy wouldn't be the cool guy, dude. This is because Dylan O'Brien's so handsome. I was like, he would obviously be the cool whatever.
I was out once they left the maze. I'm like, what the heck? I don't care. I don't want to like guns and stuff. I want the maze.
They ran the maze.
I wanted it to be like a Moneyball type movie where they're like showing me the process of how they're mapping the maze and stuff. But no, they're like 12 minutes after the maze is
they
introduced.
kind
They're
of
like,
do that
we
in the
mapped
last
it
couple
all.
movies, but in like a different way. Not like
Is
the
there
way that
another
you want
maze?
necessarily. What? No.
Do they
but,
go back to the maze or what? Is
No,
there-
but they do a lot of diving into like the origins of it in Death Cure.
Mm-mm.
Can't say I'm locked in for.
It's
Death
not
Cure, I'm
exactly the way
sorry.
that you Pablo are describing it, but I think it's still.
No.
I did
good
see a
pick.
shipping at it with Dylan O'Brien's character and the little British guy. What's his name? Is he British?
Is that Will Poulter?
Not Will Poulter, the other main guy.
I
don't
know who you're
that.
talking about. I don't know his name, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, but people ship them, and apparently the actors or the authors like, hey, or what someone said. I was thinking that. I didn't write it, but I was thinking that.
Ooh,
I didn't say it, but I was
okay.
thinking it. Yeah.
Nice.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride,
Indeed.
everybody. I forgot what I was going to say about Cam Boozer. I already touched on how handsome he is. But yeah, it rocks. I don't know. Oh, I was going to say I saw a tweet where it was like, it's crazy how sometimes you get Reed Shepherd at 3 and sometimes you get Cam Boozer.
That is
That
is crazy. That's brutal.
Yeah, but a miraculous. I mean, truly for Memphis to be where they were. What is it, like 1 year ago? They trade Bane and start the whole thing.
They're
For
the
them,
only
like,
team brave enough to sell high before it was too late. I mean, when's the last time we've seen that?
I don't know, dude. But yeah, like this is like an absolute masterclass in just like, we did sell high, we timed it well, and now not only Edey and Coward and Boozer, but like Ty Jerome should be sick if he plays next year.
Yeah, if he's
Freaking
healthy.
Cam Spencer's pretty good. Like there's just a bunch of guys, and so
I'm-
shout out to the Grizzlies.
Again, nothing particularly new or unique, but I'm very excited to see this core play and develop.
Mhm. Well, we'll get to Kareem Lopez, actually. I have it written down in there. We could talk Caleb Wilson next. Caleb Wilson, my question for you, Ben, is how good of a consolation prize is he for the Bulls? I mean, the vibes are the vibes where it was like, coming into this season, it was like the top 3 guys and maybe Caleb Wilson could go 1, and then the season plays out and he's clearly distant 4th. But for a Bulls team that doesn't really have a franchise cornerstone right now to jump in the lottery this way, what are they getting with Wilson? How do you feel?
Yeah, I think it's kind of as good of a consolation prize as you could realistically ask for in a draft of this quality. Like if they fell to 5, then you'd be like, it kind of stinks. But
Mara,
I
I do like Mara a lot. Hey, I was gonna say how far the Bulls have come. Where I was mocking them Mara at like 9th or whatever every single time for months, and then they get Caleb Wilson and their lives have changed. Wilson's awesome. I view him as like the same tier of prospect that I thought Dylan Harper was last year. Obviously, like incredibly different players, but a guy who I view as potentially one of the best non-center defenders in the league at his peak, like true all-time athlete with freakish instincts, movement skills, explosiveness, and despite being obviously raw in so many ways, this applies to both ends. Like, he was so productive and impactful despite so much clear room for improvement. I'm maybe a little lower on his offense than some people, just since I don't buy the shot a ton, and he's not really a creator in the half court. Like, he is a pretty legitimately
We're not going to
talented.
be in the half court, baby.
Fair enough. He is a pretty legitimately talented post player, so I hope they let him do that a little bit. But like, his handle is rough. He's not an advantage creator, but he is a phenomenal passer, which to me I think saves that a little bit. Really exceptional vision and processing on the move. He was also phenomenal against double teams out of the post this year, which again, who knows how much is actually going to get the chance to do that. But I think it's a good indicator, the fact that he was so effective in that way at the college level. So yeah, I think Wilson can be like a, third team All NBA guy. Probably never going to be like, I don't think he has the same kind of ceiling as the top three players in this class. But yeah, I mean, if Boozer's one of the best third picks of all time in recent memory, I think Wilson's got to be up there for fourth picks.
Mm-hmm. Pablo, he's playing for your team. What do you think?
I'm fine with it. I think there's obviously a lot of potential because he is a crazy explosive athlete, but I think he has to change his game the most out of anyone of this top four, because how he operated at North Carolina was, I'm going to put my back to the basket and do mid-range cooking game. And then whenever they send help, and he was incredibly eager for double teams to come. He's like, come on. And then as soon as they take a step over, it's like, boom, and throwing the pass.
It's
Sometimes,
like the Ben Simmons, I'm going to shoot this layup. Somebody better come attack me, and I can get a 3-pointer out of it.
But it's
Caleb
more
Wilson
it's more of a
scared,
confidence angle. Yeah, he's like, oh, send help. I wonder if you're gonna. Oh, you guys really need to double team me. And then, but sometimes it would get him in trouble because, like, if a good defender was on the weak side, like, they know he's thirsty as hell to throw that skip pass. So it got him in trouble a couple times. But yeah, that's kind of how he made his living at the college level. I don't believe he's going to be a transformative enough mid-range tough shot maker to really like run your offense in that capacity.
Yeah. I mean, the hope is that's just an indicator of like 3-point development down the line.
Yeah. What did he shoot percentage-wise from mid-range? Do you know?
40. It was high 40s. I don't have it off the top of my head, but it was good. It was very good.
Oh, okay.
Like, he was legitimately awesome in the mid-range, which is like the saving grace indicator for him as a shot maker, since like everything else is underwhelming at best.
Yeah, not everyone can be a great mid-range shooting prospect and also an elite 3-point shooting prospect, like someone like Bryce Sensabaugh. But I think Caleb, the mid-range,
Bruce Thornton, another
Bruce Thornton really is like a mini Bryce Sensabaugh, honestly.
No, he actually is. It's so funny.
That's what we're looking for, baby. We need Sensabaugh disciples to start filtering into the league,
and they played together. But yeah, so I really. How do you see the roadmap when you picture idealized future Caleb Wilson making all NBA teams? What do you see his role specifically as? Do you think it's play finishing? Do you think there will be a self-creation leap? Do you think he's like a small ball big man who plays down low? How do you see it specifically manifesting? Because that's what I have trouble with. I don't know exactly what direction he's going to go to really utilize all his skills.
Yeah, I agree with you that it's like murky and there are a lot of ways it could go. But I think ultimately I could imagine him being one of the best play finishers in the league, playing next to like a high-level creator, and hopefully someone who can get to enough of a level as a shooter where he can at least draw like soft closeouts, because he is just so explosive that like he doesn't need that much space to blow by someone and get to the basket and make a play. But I think a lot of his peak usage hopefully should come as a playmaking hub, where I think North Carolina's offense was very uncreative and could have done so much more with exploring his playmaking capabilities as like a handoff hub, or, in more of a drive situation. But obviously he has limitations that make that tough at the moment. But I think that's probably the vision for him as like a high volume play finisher, potentially some like face up creation. I think I'd like to see that incorporated at least to some extent at his peak, because he is a legitimately skilled post scorer. Like his footwork is great, his touch is great. He's like super weak and his balance is terrible. He's always falling on the floor. You hope that stuff can get better as he like gets stronger and gets older, which I think it's reasonable to anticipate that. He's a 19-year-old player,
Yeah.
right? That can happen. But I think it's going to be a lot of like secondary scoring with a little bit of like a primary playmaking option on the right team. And yeah, he's definitely not as going to be as like seamless to build around as the top three. And hey, he didn't go in the top three for a reason, right? But I do think even though it's going to take a little bit more thought, on the other end though, I think he's the kind of defensive player who can totally cover for like offensive players who are like the other way, where they're hard to build around because of defensive limitation, just because of how insanely rangy he is and how many mistakes he can cover and erase.
How do you see the Bulls? Were you an Sengai guy? Were you an Sengai guy?
Okay.
I was not an Sengai gay personally. I mean, I thought it was all right. Like I was okay. I was like lukewarm on him. I wasn't like crazy high or crazy low. I have no idea what they're gonna do with Noah. I think this puts a lot of pressure on him to become a shooter. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, one of these guys has to become
And
a
Swain
shooter.
as well is like a shooting shaky guy who I really like, to be clear. I think is like a great prospect, but yeah, they're gonna have some things to sort out. Basically every single one of their important picks over the last couple years have been like 6'6" to 6'10" wingy forward types, which like I can think of worse archetypes to stack, but there is going to be a lot of sorting out right there. So like I think it will, like, again, depend on other players, but hopefully with his gravity as a play finisher, with his passing, Caleb is the kind of player who, like, in a weird, unconventional way, like, makes everyone else around him better.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll still have Boomchi Dreams next year. Is that how you say that guy's name? I don't even know. I haven't heard it pronounced.
I truly have no. He's not going to be eligible for next year's draft.
What? Isn't he? He's going to college, but he can't come out.
Yeah, he's doing Jaden Quain's thing. He's 2 years old.
Oh, who's
tricky?
Who's next year? Who's your number one right now?
Probably Jordan Smith, but I
haven't even seen him play.
He's like a Suggsy, Derek Whitey, Marcus Smarty type player.
Okay.
Like he's like 6'1" or 6'2" with a 6'9" wingspan. Like exceptional defender. Has improved a lot as a shooter, but still
what is Stokes good at? He seems very, very mean. So
Stokes is very talented, but like very unserious is the main issue. Like he is giant, insanely explosive, and is like a very talented passer and shot maker at times. But his like feel and decision making and awareness stuff, like the soft mental skills, need a ton of work.
Okay. All right, pick number 5.
This could have been the Pacers, but you said it would suck, and it's a stupid pick anyways, and you didn't even want it, so who gives a crap, dude?
I don't even like this draft. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Stupid! Nah, I mean, it's a coin flip. It is what it is.
Zubats is good. Zubats is good.
I will always respect Kevin Pritchard for on lottery day being like, guys, I'm really sorry. I thought we were due.
Yeah. I love it. No, just accountability immediately. Yeah, no, this one, I was looking, it's crazy when this pick becomes 5 and looking at like what Giannis went for, the Zubats package, I was like, this is like 55% of the Giannis package. This is like a lot, but Zubats is pretty good still, and I think he'll be good with the Pacers. But for the Clippers, their future kind of sucks. They don't control their own draft pick until 2030, and so I wanted to ask you, is Keaton Wagler the guy you would have taken, knowing this is your only lottery pick for a while? Probably it's becoming more difficult to even like land in the real top, but again, the Clippers aren't going to have it anyways. So yeah, would you have gone Wagler here? Do you like that process by the Clippers? What do you think?
Probably not, but I understand it, and I don't think it's like a particularly bad pick or anything. I probably would have gone with a guy with like a bit more of a creation ceiling on the ball, to like a Michael Brown or Kingston Flemings, but Wagler is pretty high up on the list of players who I would have liked. Like he is a really unique prospects. Everyone knows about like the zero dunks, but ridiculous shot maker off the dribble, ridiculous decision maker. I think he has some like Con Knipple in the cell for him, where it's like not a lot of traditional like athleticism, explosiveness, like seems like a role player, but he's just such an incredible shot maker from a lot of different platforms and areas with amazing craft and decision making. I don't think he's as good as Khan at like a lot of those strengths, but yeah, I think it's extremely notable that Wagler was as dominant as he was for like a very good Illinois team as a primary creator freshman, which was like undeniably a great situation, but also not a perfect situation since he was relied on so much as a creator and all their bigs were like pick and pop guys pretty much.
Pablo?
Yeah, I think Wagler's fine. I think as far as backcourts go, this will be fruitful offensively. Defensively, I think Wagler's not as bad as his rep, honestly. He's like big enough and he competes always, and he doesn't make plays a ton, but I feel like he's
It's also partly an Illinois thing too. Like they just are a conservative defense in terms of going for turnovers. Like
yeah, and so he obviously he could play off ball very easily. On ball, what did he shoot at the rim? Because when I watched him, he missed a lot at the rim, but he was always getting there.
It wasn't amazing. I'll pull it up in a second.
I believe it was 65%. This is coming to me via Limitless Pill, where I saw this number earlier on like a mock thing, and I think it's just like reaching through my brain. But 65%.
Okay, Keaton was 54% overall, 52.8% in the half court. So not great.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and I think he is good at getting downhill despite his athletic tools, but he just relies on so many like tough, contested, leaning shots that it's going to depress his finishing efficiency. And he's also like needs to develop more like intermediate counters to take a little bit more pressure on him, just like going straight to the basket all the time. But I think he has enough like craft and touch. Like so many young players improve as finishers as they get stronger and as they learn to play with more. I mean, learning to play with more pace is not going to be a Wagler issue. Like he's already, I think, pretty brilliant in that regard. But he could get better there. I think his touch is great. He's very physical. Like he drew a lot of fouls, which is a great indicator. Like he's super skinny, but I don't think it's like a physicality issue as much as just like he needs to add a ton of muscle, and hopefully can because he's a teenager.
Yeah, and this does make you for however they go about building the rest of their team. I don't know how they're going to do it, but offensively, this makes you very malleable when you have these kinds of this level of shot making and playmaking from your backcourt. So, for them, yeah, I think it's a fine pick.
Okay. I thought it was Mikal, but it's Michael Brown Jr. You said, Ben?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Michael.
For the Nets, I saw Twitter call him a Jordan Poole variant, and ESPN's high-end comp for him is smaller LaMelo Ball. These are names that bring a blend of offensive dynamism, but also volatility to mind. So I'm curious what you think about those two comps. And then with regards to the Nets specifically, coming off of a draft where they did take 3 guards last year, do you feel like this was just, best?
Mean, Igor's, the hope is he's a point guard. They took 4. And
okay.
Danny Wolf played point guard, honestly.
Okay. They took 5. This is the 6th guard. Okay. Do you think?
And they have Randall.
God. We'll point forward.
Point MPJ, baby. Let's get it.
Hey, anything's possible under Jordy Fernandez. So was this just like a best talent play for them here?
Not to be like rash, but none of the guards they took last year were like actually that good, nor were like real guards. Like I have some Traore stock.
Yeah,
sure.
he did a little bit.
He had some moments, but like not the kind of player who you're like passing on talents like Michael to take, in my opinion. Where I think the LaMelo and Poole comps are good for like a high and a medium-ish outcome range, where he really just is one of the most creative players you'll ever see in terms of his playmaking decisions, what he can do with the ball in his hands. And I think similar to some other guys in this draft, like Kingston Flemings, I think of is similar in this way, but in a lot of different ways. Like a lot of the weaknesses are fixable to me. Like his shot selection, his decision making. I think that stuff can be reined in, and I'd rather have a player with his high end stuff than having to teach someone more measured to do the kind of things Michael can, because I don't think he really can. But yeah, he's to me maybe the best live dribble passing prospect in the class. Insane vision, manipulation, skill with both hands, advantage creation to flow into passing. He's going to be an awesome shooter, and I was pleasantly surprised with the way he played defense this year, at least down the stretch. And he had some back injury stuff, which is definitely like potentially worrying, but it seemed like he was cleared by a decent amount of teams, at least according to like
and he may have Charlie Kirk's spine though.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
And MPJ will be there to coach. He'll be like, didn't fuck with me at all, really. Well, he's pretty stiff, I guess, but he was good anyways.
I was gonna like genuinely though, like obviously MPJ has like missed a shitload of time in his career, but like has found some level of stability.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Brown is the kind of dynamic offensive player that's worth taking at this level. Like none of the guys that the Nets took last year are true creators. Like Yegor's a wing, Ben Soroff is a lemon, and Traore like has real speed and can like get downhill, but like is probably more of like a Schroeder variant than like a true primary guy. Like someone who you can trust to run the offense for a bit, like create some advantages, but not someone you're like building the ship around. Like
yeah, that was the vibe towards. There was not really like we got our guy at the end of last season for the Nets. So yeah,
Definitely
I like
not.
it for them. Speaking of getting your guy, the Kings have had a guy for some time now, and they got him at 7. The smallest man in the world, Darius Acuff. Oh wait,
well,
Pablo?
wait, I want to talk about the Nets too.
Oh, never mind. Fuck Darius Acuff and the Kings. Let's go back to the Nets.
Death to small guards, killed them all. But Mikael Brown,
except for Jalen Brunson, he can live.
He is cool. He's the type of guy where if you were to just list out all his strengths, you'd be like, okay, why is this guy not going freaking number 1? Like it's crazy. But I wish he didn't have to go to the Nets because he's a cool player, because this team is just a complete utter disaster. When I saw them on the broadcast celebrating in their draft room, I got so mad. What are we building here? We have Julius Randle, we have Michael Porter Jr., we have 2 Israelis who are trash. Well, Danny Wolf might be salvageable. But we have just nothing going. I hate this team. I absolutely hate this team. I wish they took Nate Ament, because it's just the most repulsive organization possible. And so it's very sad that Brown is obviously going to be the most talented guy on this roster. If anyone goes to Nets games, he'll be the reason why. But he's just going to waste away here. This team has no direction. I mean, it's horrific.
Okay, fuck them. I mean, I definitely. It's when they took all those guards last year, it did kind of feel like, okay, when other teams don't get number 1 overall or like a real like top of the lottery pick, then it's like you sometimes see them take swings on guys who can become supplementary players, and
they're like, hey, it's about bites at the apple. It's like, okay,
Joe could become supplementary,
apples.
I guess. Like there are guys, Traore could become a supplementary player. Like he could help a good team, but
Drake Powell.
Yeah, I like Drake, but point guard.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't feel like there's a ton of infrastructure here. There's a disappointing amount of infrastructure for how long the Nets have been bad, I guess is a good way to put it. Like you would wish there was more in place for Brown to come in and like be a good player. Okay, Pablo, is that all you wanted to see? You just wanted to ether the Nets real quick?
Yeah, I hate the Nets, dude.
Okay. What do you think about the Kings? Do you like them?
I have a lot of sympathy for Kings fans, because they're very good fans, and they deal with another disgusting ownership group full of the most brain dead people on earth. Acuff, it's just sad because this is the most Calvinist team in the league. We just know what the destiny of this team is going to be. Darius Acuff is pretty good offensively. He's probably never going to play defense, especially now that he's on the Kings. I mean, it's just going to be he's going to put up volume, regular season numbers.
Rookie of the year. That's what people are saying.
Could be, but it's just never. I'm going to go out on a limb and going to say, as long as he's on the Kings, unless there's a major recalibration of his game, it's just never going to lead to anything. But the ownership is going to get their cool player who will put people in seats for 8 years. And I mean, he wants to go there, so he's choosing this fate. But yeah.
I don't know. It is very like Kings-esque to have a player to like finally hit on a player who then gives you like the team image of like he's overcoming hardships by being on the Kings or whatever. Like I feel like that's a very Kings like team to put together, I guess. Ben, I don't know. Is the defense as bad as it looks, and what traits make him so special on offense?
Yeah, I think he is like a pretty exceptional offensive player, and it is just like tough optically because like the Kings are just like have such a decorated history of giving no shits about defense, and that not getting them far. At least you can say, if you want to have some optimism, which I can't imagine many Kings fans have, but if you want to take that angle, it's like this is your first real piece, and you can build around, you can build going forward with the knowledge that you have this guy who you are really going to have to cover with on defense.
Him and Cardwell.
Sure,
and
I like
Raynaud,
Cardwell.
And Raynaud.
Well, and again, if you're high on Raynaud, who I'm not crazy high on, but I know there's a lot of Kings fans who are happy with him as a rookie, like he's also a bad defender.
I mean,
like,
you're in a dark cave and someone strikes a match and you're like, this is the brightest thing in the world. That's kind of how I feel about like Kings fans with Raynaud, where it's like, yeah, I guess. Yeah, no, you got him.
But I think good. I mean, he is a pretty exceptional offensive player. I think there are some under-discussed issues. Like, is his college three-point shooting going to translate considering the level he was at before college? He, I think, is more of a tough shot taker / maker in the half court than a pure like advantage creation machine like a Flemings or a Michael Brown or whoever it can be. However, like he is a brilliant pick and roll passer, incredible tough shot maker, like great on and off ball player. Like he's going to be an awesome offensive player. And again, like I'm not crazy high on Acuff, but like I have him in this like mid-lottery tier. Like that's how I view him. I do think he's worth the bet offensively. I just wish I trusted the place he landed more. Like if he went to, Atlanta would probably never take him after parting with Trae Young for reasons they did. But like I would like that environment for him because they have defenders, they have a competent infrastructure at least. And the Kings, Christie is whatever. Like they've got a couple. Like I've got a little Neat Clifford and Devin Carter stock still, but like who knows really. And then again, for the moment, there's still Levine, DeRozan, Sabonis, which is just like
and
hard
Hunter.
to think.
Don't forget Hunter.
I genuinely did forget Hunter.
They traded for Hunter. Don't forget about that.
I definitely did forget about DeAndre Hunter. That is true. So like. It is a concerning environment for Acuff to improve on like or to like fix a lot of his bad habits, which is going to need to happen obviously for him to be the best version of himself. So I think it's like he's a good player and I don't hate this pick by any means. It's just, King's tax in so many ways,
it's King's tax with the added layer of he's requesting the King's tax. Like he's like, I want the King's tax, baby. And so it's like, I'm sure he doesn't view the Kings the way we view the Kings at that point. Or
I hope not.
But shit, it is. It's just like
let me jump in the toilet.
Yeah, let me set myself on fire real quick. That would be dope. Nah, it's cool, and I think you
Jimmy
will be.
Butler raised the rent, et cetera. Like.
Yeah, I think it'll be entertaining. I think it'll be.
He'll get some beams lit.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Very true.
It's crazy that they got that good of a gimmick and it just hasn't worked out. Because that's like a really cool thing, but it just fell off.
Everything is good except ownership. It sucks.
Yeah. Well, sorry, Kings fans. The Hawks. What do you want to shit on the Kings anymore, Pablo? I don't want to jump to the next team.
No. They're
Okay.
killing.
I do need to be done in an hour and a half. So we have an hour and a half to pad out the rest of this. Kingston Flemings to the Hawks.
Ben's
He was-
friend.
this is-
He's
yeah, your
compromised.
close
If-
personal
I am
friend.
Whenever
compromised,
he
you're right.
says, think this is a guy who lives next door to Kingston Fleming. So
Mhm.
take
Damn,
it.
I wish.
The only team to take the champs to 6 adds maybe De'Aaron Fox. That's what I wrote down. What can Flemings bring to the table for this Hawks team that they didn't have last year before they added him? What do you think?
I mean, at his peak, like a guy who can actually create in half court, like who's not CJ McCollum or Nickeil Alexander-Walker. No disrespect to those guys. Great players.
Not
but,
Loki
like,
couldn't in the playoffs. Even.
Sure,
That's crazy.
right?
Yeah.
Like, that's just exactly my point, right? Flemings, like Michael, I feel like the perception of him is this like well-rounded, like high flourish player. When I kind of like, I think there are a lot of areas where he needs to grow. Obviously, like physical strength, his handle is kind of loose. He needs to play lower. His like volume shooting off the catch, his like footwork and stuff as a finisher. But like Michael, I said, most of this stuff to me is fixable. But his blend of like explosiveness and downhill advantage creation, processing speed, like vision on the move, and pull-up shooting is really rare. Alongside to me being a much better defensive player than the measurables would indicate. Like he was an awesome defender to me relative to your average freshman guard, especially a high usage one. And in a difficult defensive scheme at Houston, nonetheless, that asks a lot of its players in different ways than other ones do. So I think Kingston, it's going to take some time for him. Like he's going to have ways to add value immediately because he is such a, I think he's going to be an effective defender, like especially off the ball. Like he's a lightning bolt in the open floor. He's just a very smart player who I think will make generally good decisions and, you know, is not someone who could compromise your offense. But at his peak, like a total difference making creator to me. I view him as like a somewhat similar player to like peak De'Aaron Fox, or at least, you know, thinking about how their development can go as like in college, like blindingly fast downhill creators with an intermediate game. Fox is more like floater oriented, which Flemings doesn't have. And Flemings is more like pull up 15-footer oriented, but we've seen Fox, you know, and again, this is a bad time to be like, oh, he's a De'Aaron Fox comparison. Like whatever. I acknowledge that. But if we're being real, like Fox at his peak was an fringe all NBA player. And I think Flemings is better than Fox was at the same stage as a prospect.
Yeah, I love that when you get to the point where you have to be like, this guy used to be good. I remember. And that's the guy I'm talking about here. Pablo, what do you think about Flemings? Could I get an unbiased? This guy's oozing his Kingston Flemings love all over the screen right now. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I am biased and compromised. That's good to.
Mm-hmm.
Too small.
Okay.
Nah, I mean, I do genuinely believe he's going to be heavily impacted by his size. He's a very smart player. He's a very good player. Like Ben said, he's much better defensively than you would think for such a little teeny weeny guy. I mean, he was like breaking up lobs sometimes and stuff, and he makes typical smart guy plays on defense. But ultimately, I do think he's going to have some trouble, especially because he's going to have to work on the 3-point volume because you kind of need that to fall back on if you're going to be a small guard, unless apparently you become Michael Jordan / Kawhi Leonard at 6 foot like Jalen Brunson. But I'm skeptical of how good he could be in the playoffs and how long it'll take him to be good in the playoffs for a team like Atlanta. And so if I was them, I would have gone Mara here because they really, really need a true big
I would have
body.
had no problem with that. Those were the two who I think they should have taken, Flemings and Mara, to be clear.
Yeah, and I just don't know where are they finding the big? I mean, they've been desperately certain. They've been desperately needing one. They've been going after the Colocos of the world. I don't know what the solution is.
I mean, they're addicted to like 6'8" combo bigs like Zuby Ejiofor, which I
Zuby?
like.
Wait, did they take Zuby?
They
Yeah,
did,
Zuby.
yes.
Woo!
So,
I
Okay,
really
but yeah,
like-
again, he's a little small.
a lot
I
of
like
heart in the
Zuby.
front court, baby.
I really like Zuby, but like, I'm just like not. I don't get why the Hawks were so eager to take him, especially after they took Asa Newell last year, who's like a worse version of this kind of.
And they have
player.
Mo Gay too.
Mhm.
And Mo Gay, former Bulls legend, by the way.
Well,
Oh,
no,
that-
there's
that
there's
threw
two
me for a
Mogays.
loop.
The other
the other
Moge,
day, dude.
former Bulls legend.
Yeah,
They
I
have
was like,
real
when the
Moge.
fuck did
I was doing
Moge
my
get on the
draft live
Bulls?
stream, and one of the guys on live was like, we were talking about Moge, and we're like, no, Moge got traded, and it was like, dude, there are two of them.
There's two.
Where's
That's how they
the
get
other
ya.
one from? Real Moge is like Eastern Washington or whatever. Where's fake Moge from?
I don't know.
I think he was
Okay.
like Pitt, maybe. I know he was like a low major guy who was, I think, had like a year or two breakout at like the high major. I think he was Pitt, but I'm not positive.
Basketball Reference has him Monroe Community College, Stony Brook University, and then Pitt. You are
Okay,
correct.
so yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Any other Fleming's Glaze before we move on?
I mean, sure, just for a second.
Let it rip.
I mean, not to just like keep doing my bit since he is my boy, but like I think it's easy to be like to like roll your eyes at, like the intel personality, like work character stuff. Mostly because like we just don't trust the sources. Like there's so much like slop and lying that comes out.
Yeah.
But when it's true, it matters. And I think like as someone who has like obviously talked to him from my YouTube, but has known Kingston for a little while and been aware of him for a while, like just gonna be just loved and adored everywhere he goes. So yeah, take this with as much salt as you'd like. But
I only
he wrote
believe
a letter to all the GMs.
he did.
Oh,
That was so baller.
Where did it
That
say?
was so baller.
I didn't read it.
Okay, great. Super- Perfect. We just
I'm
know
sure
it's out
he
there.
was it what did you read it, Ben, or no?
Yeah, he's so awesome.
What tone did he take? Did he take like, I'm gonna freaking crush you guys, like Draymond Green? I'm gonna crush you
gonna
if you don't
crush
take
you.
me, or is he like, thank you for letting me into the NBA? Or what was his tone?
It was very much just like talking about his life, his story, like how he kind of like came back from adversity. And also just like talking about like how much he like loves and knows ball. And like just kind of outline it. I think he struck a good balance of like I'm the shit and like humility, which you like to see.
It wasn't high character slop.
Maybe a little bit.
Integrity slop, dude.
Integrity
This is
slop,
what these guys
work
do.
ethic slop. I'm gonna be the first guy in, last out. Yeah, that's what everyone says, pal. Okay. Well, this was a surprising pick for me as a casual. I don't know how it was for people who are really locked in. Morez Johnson to the Mavericks. First Michigan guy off the board and goes ahead of Ademara. Ben, what did you think about this?
It's a bit of a reach based on my board. I had Morez around like 20, but it's not a bad pick, I don't think. Morez is one of the most intriguing defensive prospects in the class, like has this incredible switch ability where he's like very raw, I think, defensively, and like needs a ton of technical seasoning, but someone who like came up as a drop big, came up as like a paint player, and really expanded his game on the perimeter on both ends, especially on defense this year at Michigan. But I mean, I guess Dusty May got his guy. Though Morez is such a Masai player that like I'm totally not like I totally believe that they'd take him regardless of whether or not they hired his college head coach. Like this
He's
is
a
Vision
Schmitz guy
692.
too.
Yeah, like he is just such a dynamic athlete with an incredible motor who I think showed some nice skill progression this year too. Like nothing crazy, but can put the ball on the floor and do a post up a little bit, flash some connective passing, was able to step out and hit a three every once in a while. And Dallas's front court cupboard of young talent is so barren, especially when you consider Derek Lively's injuries. Like they truly have nobody on rookie contracts worth building around outside of Cooper and Lively in the front court. So I'm not, even though it is like technically one of the bigger reaches by my board, like that overstates the extent to which I'm disappointed with this pick. Like it's, again, probably not the pick I would have made, and it's a little rich for me, but like it's nothing worse than like a B- pick for me. Like he is a talented player who fits well with the kind of core they have, and I think fits the timeline and direction that the Mavs should be going in. So surprising, I definitely agree, but intriguing. I understand why it happened, and I'm excited to see how it looks going forward.
Pablo?
when the Mavs pick came up, I forget if they were talking about Ament going there, but I was like, oh no, do not take him. Do not attach him to Cooper Flag. This team has no assets going forward, right? So if we take Nate Ament here, I mean, this is just dooming Cooper Flag. And I was like, no, no, no. And then they showed the draft room, and I saw Mike Schmitz. And I was like, oh, my boy Mike Schmitz is there. I forgot. He won't do this. He's smart. And then I was like, wait a second. He's got some tendencies. I think he was a Kevin Knox guy. I think he's very much a measurables guy. So it's entire, and I was like, it's entirely possible Mike Schmitz falls in love with Nate Ament. But yeah, then they ended up taking Morris Johnson. I also like Morris Johnson. I think there's a really good chance he's going to be a good NBA player. I don't know who I would. I mean, I'm always just at this point in the draft, every pick, I'm like, why are you not taking Mara? Honestly, but I think he's going to be good. But I also do. He's undersized 5, kind of, right? And he's a guy who, even if he pans out, it's not the cleanest fit. Like you don't see them running out more like a starting lineup with him at the 5 and Cooper at the 4, do you? Or do you think he could function next to Cooper super well?
I think so. I mean, I think Cooper is just like such a cheat code team building wise. Like Merez has played a lot of 5 in his life. And like I don't know if he's a full-time 5 at the NBA level, but he can do it more credibly than a lot of players of this archetype. And I think it's at least good insurance for Derek Lively, right? Like I think if we're just in the world where Derek Lively is either a shell of himself or never healthy this way, which is kind of a shame. Another underrated thing is that I thought was consistent with the Michigan front court and makes sense when you think about Dusty May was like Mara, Yaxel, Merez, all phenomenal passers, like relative to their position and role. And I think that's the same with Cooper, Merez, and Lively, who's obviously not Mara as a passer, but is quite good to me as well. And then Cooper is a much better passer than Yaxel, who was a great passer in his own right.
Yeah, so I think he'll definitely be good. I think his destiny is probably more as a chess piece that's really good in some situations and can have some.
I mean, he could be like Isaiah
others.
Stewartish, I think, at his peak, like a guy who is crazy impactful defensively in limited minutes, has obvious limitations, but like is a winning piece on good teams that you want.
Yeah, so I'm not against the pick at all, but I do understand how it could feel a little underwhelming to some people who are like, well, this is all we have for the next few years. Like this is not someone who's pushing you over the edge. But I don't think they'll regret
For sure.
Well, do you think the Bucks will regret Braden Burries? This was another contentious or I guess polarizing. I don't know what the right word pick is. So when the Bucks took, I think it was AJ Johnson a few years ago. It was like, whoa, the Bucks are trying to be good. Why are they taking this baby right now? And now it's like rebuild, fucking full on. We are starting the rebuild, and 21 by the time the season starts isn't ancient or anything, but 21 is 21 in the NBA, and Braden Burries will be 21 when the season starts for a Bucks team that is just trying to add talent at this point post Giannis' departure. What did you think about this pick, Ben?
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, as someone who's not as high on Burries' consensus, I would have been totally cool if he went like 9 to Dallas, like 11 to Golden State. Like either there's like an obvious fit in Dallas, even if it's not like a win now team, or like a clear system and way he could fit in. But like, I just don't understand taking, to me, like a pretty low ceiling player when you just traded Giannis for a bunch of guards, not a bunch of guards, but like two of the main pieces were guards, and you have Ryan Rollins, who I think is really promising. Burries is more like a wingy guard, and one of my comps for him is Bucks legend Gary Harris, like a
Nuggets
really,
legend. Okay, I got you.
Really quality, like 4th, 5th starter on great teams. Burries could be a little better than that. Like he is such a dynamic transition player. That to me is his main like real special thing. Like great defensive rebounder, so fast in the open floor. But he's just like one of these jack of all trades guys to me, where he can credibly shoot off the catch and off the dribble a little bit, can credibly run a second side pick and roll, attack downhill with his strength. Very versatile. I think defense is the side of the ball where he has a chance to really stand out. So again, kind of similar to like the Merez conversation, like not someone who is a foundational piece, but someone who could really like, be a ceiling raiser, hopefully push you over the top. But that's obviously not where the Bucks are and probably won't be in a long time. It's a weird one to me. Like again, I'm not crazy high on Burries in this. Like I would have preferred a lot of other players here, and I would have understood Burries a lot more for different teams in this range, and I wouldn't have been as upset about it because I still do view Burries as like a late lottery, mid first caliber prospect, even if I'm a little lower on him. And then this is just a loaded draft, but yeah, as usual, I'm kind of perplexed by what the Milwaukee plan is.
Yeah, they do weird draft shit every year. Really.
I mean, they're like, to me, I said this, like, this is like the most my board has pretty much ever aligned with what actually happened. And I do think teams are generally getting smarter in the draft. Like, you just see less crazy picks than you did even like 5-6 years ago. But thankfully, we have John Horst to keep things exciting for us.
Nice. Pablo, what do you think about Burries?
Yeah, it's just kind of like a Kings situation with Devin Carter and Nick Clifford, where it's like, okay, so the versatile Swiss Army knife is going to be who's older is going to be on a rebuilding team, and I mean, what are we? I mean, I suppose fully realized Burries with Ryan Rollins, like that's a really great backcourt
I like
to
it.
surround a superstar, but
Yeah.
you are
Like
not going to
Rollins,
have that.
Burries, Yakuchonis, it's like a legit intriguing backcourt. Like there is real stuff there, but within the context of the rest of the team, like I don't know. Like
Yeah.
I mean, I think the return for Giannis was fine. Like it's a little underwhelming when you consider the magnitude of player Giannis is, but like at this point, I think they realistically couldn't have done much better with
Yeah.
all the
I
like.
agree.
Did you
3
guys
or
see
4
the-
first round picks? Like
Did
couple intriguing young players. Hero, I think, is good enough. I don't know.
Yeah.
Did
What were
you
you
guys see
gonna
this woman, Francesca Hong? She's a politician. She's running for office in Wisconsin. I think this is real, and they didn't Photoshop this, but she posted a story that was a selfie, and she said, "Me trying to process Giannis leaving. 50 days till election day on August 11th." And then at the bottom, she wrote, "Also, Tyler fucking Hero better be gone by tomorrow." So, she's running for office, but I guess this might play well in Wisconsin.
I hate Tyler Hero.
Yeah, they
I
hate
get
him
it.
because he didn't pick Wisconsin, right?
Yeah, he spurned one of my all-time favorite like high school highlight tapes is senior year Tyler Hero because you have the added obviously he's incredible because he's like an NBA lottery pick playing in high school, but
Yeah.
there's the added element of like every single game is like a highly hated road game, which just makes it all the better when they're shit talking him and he's just completely smoking them. Like because
But-
Tyler Hero, for all of his issues, is a bucket and a problem. So
Yeah, and my evil take on this pick is I'm not really that into Burries, so I was like, okay, that's fine. So if someone's got to waste away on this evil Milwaukee
Yeah,
team,
I mean,
that's fine.
really. Yeah, I suppose that's true. Okay. Speaking of the oldest man alive is up next, I suppose. The Axel Lendeborg to the Golden State Warriors. We've talked a few times about quote unquote high floor guys so far. And we're coming off of a draft where a guy was high floor in Con Knipple, and then everyone was like, high floor is not a thing anymore, dude. If you're good, you're good. And it's like, I don't know, maybe Con was just good and people like misinterpreted him a little bit. In that respect, through that lens of like Lendeborg should be an instant impact guy, but then is also like a very complete player right now. How do you like this pick for the Warriors moving forward? Do you think it's like great value here or what?
yeah, it's a slam dunk to me. I mean, this is exactly where I wanted Lendeborg to go in this range. It's around where I had him on my board. I view him as like a pretty clear like mid-ish lottery caliber prospect. Like he is really such a trend breaker because I am generally a person who values age and youth in my prospect of evals, but one, Lendeborg's like a weird case with the JUCO stuff and like academic issues holding him back from like, playing college basketball and just some like weird off-court stuff maybe that, it's not like he is a 24-year-old prospect because he like could not have gone to the NBA earlier. Like he would have been a first-round pick if he came out last year, probably. And I think the fact that he's excelled in so many different situations and just similar to Merez, but even more, like changed his game so much from UAB, where he was like a face-up for interior defender, to now like a versatile Swiss Army knife wing who did a lot of the same stuff on defense, but is to me like, I don't know if I agree with like the false ceiling stuff as much because one, the age, and two, I think there are real limitations. Like he was an impressive shooter this year, but still only has like 1 year of high level shooting. He's not really a handler or a creator in the half court. And I think he is kind of stiff as well, which can limit his ability to guard down, but a gigantic person with incredibly high feel, incredibly high motor, and has potential to be a ridiculous team defender at the NBA level, alongside just like a perfect complementary offensive guy. I mean, hard to think of a better system for him than Golden State, honestly. Like his playmaking feel. Honestly, I feel like Michigan, with the way they played last year, like kind of hid some of what he can do as a passer. Like just with some, they're not running him as a hub as much because they have Mara, and like they're so like spread pick and roll heavy that wasn't shown as much as I think even it could be. So yeah, great pick. I think one of like the simpler picks of the draft to rationalize and explain and talk about. Like not a ton here that's like crazy hidden or secret or like, wild, crazy stat about this. Like I just think it's good value, good fit. And I think the Warriors, who seem like at this point, they're just like never going to commit to, building for the future as long as they have this ancient core. Yaxel is the way to go if that is how you're going to go, which again, you can quibble with whether or not it's the right approach, but they're doing it, and Yaxel is great for it.
Pablo?
Yeah, I think he's really good. I think he'll help the team next year. I'm very interested to see how he fits personality-wise with this team, because Draymond is a psychopath, Jimmy is a psychopath, Yaxel is a psychopath. They're all very bizarre people, and so they will eat. I think Jimmy and Draymond have been fine to this point. I don't know how I don't know if they'll respond to him in positively and be like, yes, another freak like us, or if this will become a Jordan Poole situation and he'll freaking punch him in the face.
Poole is so different personality-wise to Yaxel, though. Like,
well, he has swag. Yaxel does not, honestly.
Well, that's maybe that's the problem.
Yaxel,
I don't know.
Every
that Draymond
night.
and Jimmy were just appalled by the swag gap.
Yeah. Jimmy's like, I love dominoes, and Draymond's like, cool, keep it that way. Don't start wearing cool clothes or anything, or I'll fucking punch you. I'll crush you.
During March Madness, Yaxel's going on TikTok Live. I would see him all the time. Every time I clicked, they're talking about dick size. They're like straight up. And he's like, nah, I'm nothing compared to Morez. You know how big Morez is? And I'm like, dude,
seems like Jimmy. That seems like Jimmy Butler would do that. I don't know.
Dude, you have a pretty serious job interview coming up soon. Like, let's take this off live. I mean, come on.
Pretty serious job interview. Yeah, it's very true.
Who was the lineman? Laramie Tunsil, who did the gas mask thing. This is like an offshoot of that, where it's like, well, this isn't as bad. It's just like equally weird. Like we can't really fade him for this, but we have to account for it in the locker room, I guess. That's bizarre, man. That's crazy.
But again, I'm thinking, I mean, he's good. Mara would be great too.
I agree, and we're gonna be done talking about this in a second. Thankfully for you, Pablo.
How the fuck okay, let's just do it. Mara to the Thunder. I was
evil wins again.
So I was at the Wizards draft party, like not really locked in. I left after the fourth pick just to make sure the Bulls didn't do anything crazy, and I went and got ice cream. And I was chilling, and I opened up my phone.
What flavor?
I got cookies and cream, and my beautiful fiance got espresso, like dark chocolate espresso, and it was really
do you do one scoop?
I did. So this was at a Ben and Jerry's store where the sizes were small, large, and extra large.
You can't be mixing.
That's how they get
flavors.
Yeah.
Maybe I could. I didn't ask. I was just like, because it was a line and we had been waiting, and I was like, I wasn't trying to like, I don't know. Efficiency was my mindset at that point. But then I get outside and I open my phone and it's like Lendeborg to the Warriors, and I was like, okay,
very Boozer-esque by you at the parlor.
I'm thinking. I'm trying to do the processing, and I'm just like, dude, make the next pass, get the defense in rotation. And so I go outside, and I'm like, certainly Mara is off the board before the Warriors. That's why the Warriors didn't take him. Certainly he was just gone already. And then I like pull up the stream on Twitter or whatever, and they're like, Thunder, the pick is in, and I was like, you're joking. So yeah, I feel like all of us like this pick. Pablo, I haven't thrown it to you first at all yet. What do you think about it? I wrote down too big to fail. FC soldier gets sent to Nazi Germany. What do you think about this?
The best defensive team has added another young guy who could feasibly end up on the all defensive teams one day. Like it's unbelievable. I mean, they just keep getting lucky and lucky. I think he's better than Sorber. I think he'll be better than Sorber next year. I think he could be like an instant impact backup big at the very least. He's an incredible, ginormous defender, 9'9" standing reach. On the broadcast, they're like, they got Wemby kryptonite. I don't know about that. I don't know if he's an ideal Wemby matchup, but I think against everyone else, it'll be very good. And I mean, on offense, he's a pretty decent passer. He's got okay touch. He's not like a complete zero or anything. So I just feel like this is like a safe bet to be one of the better starting bigs in the NBA, and they get him for nothing. So Hartenstein, count your days. I don't know.
Me when the rich get richer. Yeah, I mean it's really an allegory of life in our capitalist society, isn't it?
This is like the opposite of the King's tax, where it's like if anybody was like, I don't know about Mara, the Thunder snag him. It's like, okay, well, Hall of Famer, fucking stamp it, I guess. Yeah, Ben, what do you think about the pick?
Yeah, it rocks. I mean, I was high on Sorber last year, but I think Mara is like a clearly different tier of prospect. Like he is, as you say, too big to fail. There's that aspect. He is 7'3", gigantic, but like legitimately skilled, has great touch, is I think one of the best 7-foot plus passers I've ever seen, which like, I guess there aren't that many 7-foot plus players you're evaluating every year, but Mara is clearly special with the way he can hold the ball above his head and like toy with defenders with his eyes and find tight windows to cutters and work on the short roll. And I think his mobility has really improved over the last couple of years. Like he is not a statue by any means. Like he's never going to be a crazy mover. He's 7'3" and he's not Wemby. His body's just like not going to let him, but he can survive in space. And OKC, talk about a defense that's never going to force you to just guard on an island in space. And the fact that you could play him with Chet and just have 48 minutes of dynamic rim protection, rim deterrence. And obviously iHeart is still there for now. So it is just a disgusting amount of riches. And I think Mara was, I mean, he was, I think at this point in the draft, he was my best player available when they took him. Like I would have considered him as high as 5, honestly. I don't know if I would have taken him there, but I would have strongly considered him after the top 4. He's a phenomenal player. Like he to me is really special. I think like an upgraded version of the Klingon, Edie, Kessler type bigs we've been getting into the league recently that have generally had success.
Yeah, I mean, shit. And it's just so, like you talk about Hartenstein still being here, and it's like that's prior to the last night. It's like that's one of the only like real warts with this Thunder team. Like you could talk about how good J-Dub will be with the hamstring or whatever, and like whether or not those contracts are appropriate. But like when you're worried about what the Thunder, how they're going to navigate, it's what are we going to do with Lou Dort? How are we going to figure out the Hartenstein situation, especially with how important Hartenstein has become to the way they play basketball and like some of the pros and cons of, you know, Chet's slenderness at times. And it's like we, you know, probably don't need to navigate that as like carefully anymore. This is just a guy who, like, if you get like a very reasonable outcome, can fill in that rotation pretty well. So
yeah,
it's just
I
crazy.
think it just lessens the pressure on Mara to kind of. I mean, it's a great system for him and Sturtz, honestly. Like, well, again, just like if Mara is going to the Bucks or whatever, like there's way more pressure on him to become the best version of himself. But like, and obviously the Thunder have a very strong history of player development in recent years as well, which always makes you feel good about guys like Mario, not a fully complete player, like needs to improve his strength and physicality. And I think my biggest issues with Mara come as like a scorer, but who gives a shit? He's on the Thunder.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
and also another tower has hit the non-Wemby minutes against the Spurs. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Another tower has hit. I don't know if that's how that goes.
Oh, what did I said? I said another tower has hit.
Another tower is hit.
Another tower
the
is
tower
hit.
the towers are moving. It's horrifying.
Another tower has hit the plane.
That's what the pilots were saying. They're like, dude, I was here first and the tower got in the way.
Mara is a tower.
I was in legal guarding position. This tower invaded my space.
Okay, yeah, we all know the Mara pick rocks. Hey, let's talk about. I literally labeled Amen the pick that everyone hates.
Woo!
To the Bucks. 43% on twos in college, below average speed and athleticism concerns, neutral wingspan. All of these things paint a pretty negative picture right now. Ben, are people over-indexing on what has been an awful past year for Amen stock? And they're not projecting enough into what kind of player he can become? Or do you feel like this really awful previous year is indicative of how tough it might be for him to like develop into this fully actualized version of himself?
Are they over-indexing? No.
Okay, cool.
I mean,
Just
he's not
checking.
like he's not so awful.
Is he
I think
better
players-
than Rizichet?
Yeah, I think so.
Well,
I
that
think
guy
he's like-
went one.
I think he's like a pretty clear tier up on Reese Share as a prospect. Like, not saying much. I had Reese Share like 15th in a terrible draft. But yeah, I mean, Ament is giant and is a credible shot maker, and I think those two things can take you reasonably far. And the NBA just continues to give these guys chances. So I think that's something like Ament is going to get plenty of chances to get better and to improve and to iron out his things. Like we just know how long like Cam Reddish stuck around way longer than he should have. Like, these kind of players get opportunities. But Ament, yeah, I mean, I was really high on Ament coming out of high school, but I think one, he just stagnated in a lot of areas. Like the passing development wasn't there. I think he's a pretty low field player. I think he significantly got worse on defense, where like he has some flashes like a secondary rim protector, but it's just so slow now. Like he added a lot of mass clearly, and that helped his foul drawing. Like high free throw rate guys is a good indicator. Like he's a physical, aggressive driver, but I think that added mass has done more harm than good at this stage. So maybe you can argue that like continuing to work on his body, getting more athletic, figuring out the right balance between like strength and fluidity and explosiveness, because I don't think he hit that. And obviously Tennessee is always like gonna max out your muscle mass. That's just how they do it there. Like they are an NBA strength and conditioning program in that way. So I think Amen, and again, wasn't in a great situation in Tennessee by any means. But I think, like, again, it's just so boring to me. Like, this is like Jabari Smith, Tobias Harris type player to me, where, like, could be a fine fourth or fifth starter on good teams, like someone you don't mind having, because again, positional size, real shot-making ability, can be a guy who, if your offense is stagnating, you throw to the ball in the post or in the face-up area and hopefully get something out of it to kind of get out of a rut while being a credible movement catching shooters. Like, there are clear benefits, like reasons why Amen is good, but especially in a draft of this quality and for a Bucks organization that I just have very little trust in when it comes to putting players in good positions. Like it's so long since like the Point Giannis thing, and they developed him, and they're that is just such a distant memory to me. And I mean, with Milwaukee, it's to me like I'll believe it when I see it. When it comes to guys who like they draft their in-house guys, not like Ryan Rollins broke out, but they didn't draft him. Like they picked him up after like a shoplifting thing.
Mm-hmm. They should have let him steal, dude.
Like the Wizards would have kept him probably, and he would have been awesome. Like it's not like it's not like they drafted this guy and we're like really working on him. It's like no, I don't think it's fair to credit that. So yeah. I wasn't an Amen. I think obviously this is a bad value, but if OKC or someone took him right here, like Miami before they traded the pick, you could understand it. Organizations with a strong track record of player development who often have good plans in place for these kind of players, and Milwaukee unfortunately is just not that place. Every year I fill up my database of like half court finishing, Nate Ament is number 0, I guess, last.
Oh,
in
he's
this
first.
class.
Oh.
He's better than
Oh.
first. So you heard it here
He-
first.
he's last in terms of half court rim. 47.8% at the rim for a guy his size is like impressive. There was only one player in last year's draft who was worse, and that was Liam McNeely.
Wait, is he worse than Cam Reddish?
As a half court finisher? I can look it up for you. I don't know. I mean, probably like 48% for a 6'10" guy is really bad.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you in
Close-
like
you're
30
close
seconds.
to the rim, you know? You're right there. Just put it in. But
You
I
know,
guess not.
frankly, you have your friend Kingston Flemings. I have my friend Zachary the Rizzler Rizichet. I'm insulted. Rizichet, dynamic.
How is
kind
he?
of
You've
three-
talked to him?
It's subliminally. I think he's.
Oh,
I think he
okay.
speaks to me through a lot of his actions on TV. But in France, he was at least kind of an interesting shooter when it was hot.
Okay, Cam 49% at the rim in the half court in college, so ever so slightly better than Nate.
Oh
Okay.
shoot! Okay, Cam Reddish better, but yeah, Rizzler at least was kind of an interesting 3-point shooter. He had some secondary rim protection, and he was like he did cool stuff in transition. He would go, "Oh, I'm in transition through the legs."
That is true. He is a transition
French
cool
swagger.
stuff. 100%.
I just think Nate Ament, like, nothing is cool about this. Like, he takes tough shots. I don't know what his I don't think you could bank on anything translating. So, and I saw you say like he has a great smile. That might be his best. He's competing with Salon for who is
Best
the best
smile.
best
Yeah.
project smile. So we'll see.
He
how
does
that
have a
goes
great
for him.
smile.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, but again, evil draft take. I'm happy he went to the Bucks.
Okay.
I wish nothing but the best for all of these players. Unless you're like a documented bad guy, I want nothing but success for everyone in the draft. However, I want nothing but failure and misery for the Milwaukee Bucks. So
Yeah.
From that lens, I can get behind it. You know, hopefully he's terrible in Milwaukee. He gets traded for nothing and then blows up somewhere else. That would be cool. Be totally happy with that.
We're done talking about Nate Ament.
Sorry.
Move it
sorry,
along.
Sorry. There was something. It's fine. You know.
Is there a leak?
No, you don't need to worry about what it was. Why are you always
Oh,
asking
shit.
personal questions? Dude? Jesus, keep it professional.
If you don't want personal questions, then put on a mask.
face conceal, it's simple. Steinbach to the Hornets. That is how you say it, right? How do you say the first name?
Oh, they were
Hannes.
saying it. I didn't realize it was Hannes. Yeah. They were
Okay,
like,
Hannes Steinbach. Giannis Steinbach to the Hornets. It's just him and a mustache.
Dude, when
He
you
plays
watch
for
him run
both
in
teams.
transition with the ball, he kind of looks like Giannis sometimes, low key.
Ooh. So this is a Hornets team that was already 5th in rebounds per game last year, adding arguably the best rebounder in the draft. But they do have a lot of, issues.
They tripled down on their strengths and their identity, which to some extent
Yeah.
I respect with this and the Christian Anderson pick.
Mhm.
I was live with a friend of the program, Matthew Sponhour, last night, and he was kind of crashing out over this pick. I'm not.
Who did he
as-
want at this spot?
He was really hoping Mara would fall.
Oh, yeah.
but-
That would have been better. Yeah.
Yeah, which would have been, but like I'm not as low on Steinbach as him, and I think Steinbach is like a perfectly B pick here. Like this is around the range where I like him, and clearly they're planning on juicing the offensive rebounding rate even more than they already did. Like this is a truly legendary rebounder with incredible hands, incredible touch. I really like him offensively for the Hornets. Like they don't have like an inside out scoring dimension like that. Like none of their Kalkbrenner, Moose, none of their bigs and forwards are like scoring from the intermediate and working out. I think Steinbach can do that. But again, not a super reliable shooter yet, though I have faith in him becoming a solid shooter. Not a great playmaker, and I think he's underrated defensively, but definitely a bit of like a positional tweener. So he fits their need for physical strength. Definitely, like he is crazy strong, and I think his like ground coverage, his hands, some of the stuff he can do, like he's not a center by any means, and he's not like a standout perimeter defender. So understand the concerns with this roster. It's a solid pick. I don't have like super crazy strong feelings about Charlotte either way, even though Steinbach is like a personal favorite of mine just to watch. So I'm happy to see him go to a team that I already enjoyed watching, generally speaking.
Pablo?
Yeah, he's basically the same as why am I losing his name? What's their center?
Moose?
Diabate?
Yeah, Diabate. We've gotten another Diabate, but this one is even faster in transition.
Wow.
I mean, he's like, yeah, he really is like a great fit for this team specifically. He rebounds and he runs real fast in transition, and he can catch lobs and dunk everything.
You can definitely argue whether or not like this is the path the Hornets should be taking, but you cannot argue that they inarguably have a plan and an identity and are sticking to it, and that's something that I can appreciate, even if I don't always agree with that specific plan. Like I think
Bucks
it's valuable.
don't, so it's like, yeah, this is where we separate. This is why they don't get like a king's tax from me, even though they haven't been like very good. Yeah.
I mean, this new Hornets regime, like clearly they're at least like adults in the room. It's TBD if they can take the next step with this core, but like it is an adult operation, which is not something
Plotkin and Schnall. That's their ownership. They rotate. I forget who's in charge right now.
Yeah, I don't know who's
Jeff
up right
Peterson
now.
is their GM.
Oh, I don't even know. But you got to be Team Plotkin or Team Schnall. So, but I forget which one is in charge right now. But Plotkin is the guy who tried to put GameStop out of business, and then everyone shorted it or whatever. So,
That was hilarious. I remember that.
Or everyone bought stock because he shorted it. Was that it? Yeah.
I don't remember, but yeah. If
there's
you
a movie
did
with Paul
GameStop-
Dano about it.
Hannes Steinbach is a good player, though. I'm excited to see what he does.
Okay, well, we're talking GameStop right now, so
Yeah.
if you could,
Hannes Stop? I don't know.
honest GameStop, okay.
GameStop.
You have Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
And they're like, no, and he runs away really fast. So they're like, we need to get that guy in transition, dude. Holy shit. All right, Chicago Bulls, Dalen Swain, baby. Pablo, it's your team. You can talk about it first. What do you think? Is this guy a slapper? Does he fit slap? What are you thinking?
Size, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Length, enough. Athleticism, yeah, enough. Physicality, yeah, enough. He slaps, yeah. I'm not as into Dalen Swain as I think a lot of people. He's very unique in that his self-creation, like rim penetrating numbers, are crazy. That's like his bread and butter. But he's a questionable shooter, and he's a good ball handler for his size. But I wonder if Ben, how do you think? Do you think is the penetrating going to translate directly? Like, are we going to be able to count on him for sure to be like an elite half court slasher day one in the NBA? Because I watch him, I'm like, he's not an outstanding athlete. Like, I don't fully understand why this works. Like, he's a pretty good ball handler for the size, but how do you think about his driving game? Why does it work in college, and how will it work in the NBA?
Yeah, and just to kind of underscore how effective he was as a driver, there were, let me look at this, like 1, 2, 3, 4, like 10-ish players in the class that I tracked that drove over 100 times this year, or 13, and Swain was by far the most efficient, 1.2 points per possession, 70.8 true shooting. Nobody other than Debansa was even kind of close, and even Debansa wasn't that close. So obviously the results are there, and I think even though he's not like so explosive, I really think he's one of these cases where like the movement skills are that special. Like his flexibility and bend, the way he can like dip around even like shorter defenders and get by them. And I think even though he's not like a crazy leaper, like he's a pretty good athlete, like you said.
Yeah.
He's got a quick enough first step, and the handle is so ridiculous. And he's got great touch. So I think all of those kind of come together, and like I think he's pretty varied in terms of his driving paths. My main worry is that like he can be kind of passive as a scorer sometimes. Like he is relatively new to like high usage primary creation. Like this was not his role his first 2 years at Xavier. There were always flashes of like ball handling and movement skills, but at Texas it really crystallized into like a legit primary at the college level. And I don't know if you can project any rookie like to be that immediately at the NBA level, but I think the ceiling for Swain is pretty enormous. And I think he has good enough ancillary skills. Like, he's a good passer. He was a little disappointing this year on defense, but I think he's been so good in the past, and you can maybe attribute it to like a usage jump, that you can reasonably expect him to get back to a higher level on defense in the league. And he became like a legit solid off dribble shooter, like great free throw shooter, great touch, efficient mid range shooter, like pretty decent pull up 3-point volume. I worry about him off the catch. Like, he's not a comfortable catch and shooter. He'll often like catch the ball, pause for a second, go into a drive instead of just like capitalizing on an advantage and hitting a three. So this is an upside pick for sure. I think that's absolutely the case, but I think the creation ceiling is enormous. I was doing my every year. I like to track self-created half-court dunks, which I think is a good translation, like a advantage creation and translation indicator. And the Bulls drafted 2 Caleb Wilson and 4 Dalen Swain in the half-court dunk leaderboard. AJ DeBansa had 19, which is by far the most I've ever seen in a single season. Caleb had 10, Swain had 7, and those are really good numbers for like the tracking guide. So I think like definitely enough athleticism to get by while being really creative. I am curious about like how all this talent meshes together. Like, that's the only reason I didn't give this like a firm A+ grade, because like they have so many like shooting questionable. Like, I think Modest is going to be is a fine enough shooter, but he's not like a crazy needle moving shot maker on and off the dribble. Like, he's a corner 3-point shooter. He hits spot ups. And Asenge, like, who knows on whether or not he's going to be a shooter? Like, anyone's guess at this point. Giddey has obviously improved a lot as a shooter, but isn't like a dynamic shot maker by any means. So they're going to have to sort that out. But again, kind of like Charlotte, like, since the moment he got there, Bryson Graham has been like, this is the plan. This is what I want to do. And then he did. So
cool. Let me timestamp it. We're just getting to how good of a shooter Josh Giddey was, and it fucking killed our stream. Oh, that's interesting. I have to leave in 40 minutes. So I hope he gets back up soon. Okay, let me timestamp this.
Hello.
Hello, we can hear you again.
I think my internet was messing up that time.
I believe it was. But that's okay. It's no big deal. 145 sensor lag spike. Okay, you were talking about how good of a shooter Josh Giddey is. Can you continue to speak to that?
So, 16 Bennett Sturts to Oklahoma City. They traded.
No, we can do it. I don't care. Yeah, let's do it. Because I mean, yeah, Sturts is another one of these.
I've said my piece on the Swain pick. I like it.
Yeah. Okay. So we can't do Sturts here. This is another one. It's not to the same extent that Mara falling to them is just like, I need to talk with like every GM and be like, do you want them to keep being the best? Because you guys are acting when you do things like this. It seems like that. But Sturts, it's more, I don't know. It definitely helps a lot. It like addresses a lot of the reasons why the end of their season was so ugly and Shea's life was so hard at the end there. My question for you with Sturts is just how do you think his game can scale up and down depending on who he's on the floor with, where it's like seamless fit alongside AJ Mitchell, Shea, whoever is like a full-time ball handler, and then do you trust him to like in spurts run his own bench unit? Does it scale that high? Like, what are you thinking with Sturts?
For sure. I think there are like real high-end live dribble creation concerns. Like, he's not a crazy explosive athlete. He's got a good first step, actually. I think he's quite quick, but like settles for a lot of tough shots, isn't the most dynamic or flexible mover. But overall, like, he is going to maybe have the biggest difference between like what his college system and role and responsibility looked like. Like, he was playing 40 minutes almost every game and doing everything on offense for his team the last like 3-4 years of college basketball at every level. So, and I think while his conditioning is clearly a superpower, like not that many people could do what he did in terms of load. Obviously, he played at a very slow pace, but I think he is and like his heavy load offense isn't like stagnant spread pick and roll. Like, he's running all over the place, give and goes, flip touch handoffs where he passes the ball, sprints to the other side of the floor, gets a screen, gets the ball back, and then sets up into a play. And I think so much of what he did was limited by his talent. Like, he has legitimately never played with like a real big who's like 6'10" or taller. Like, it is crazy. Like the kind of stuff that he had to cover for at Iowa, especially at Drake and at lower levels. But he is such a brilliant playmaker out of the pick and roll and off the ball as well, while being an exceptional shot maker with special touch. So I think like an obvious fit as a complimentary guy, and then not someone you want as a primary by any means, but again, he's on the Thunder. Like who cares?
Yeah,
He's never going to be asked to do this. And I wonder if this just means like Jared McCain's going to be expendable, or like, Topic isn't going to be as part of long-term plans. He's just kind of been like screwed by a myriad of different unfortunate things, which, is what it is. That's part of the risk with drafting injury concerned players. But you're the Thunder. They traded up. Like, it was so funny when they first traded, because they traded up, like they basically gave Memphis 2 second-round picks to move a spot up. But when Shams originally tweeted it,
what a horrible tweet! Oh my god!
It pretty much seemed like Memphis just got scammed.
Yeah, the tweet, I quoted it. I think it was OKC or Memphis has traded the 16th pick to the Thunder for 2 second-round picks, and it's like, that's not what happened at all. That's not even like 40. Like is this, you're just lying right now. This is legitimately like engagement bait, and so. Yeah, that sucked. But this is a good pickup for them, and I do feel
it's a great pick. I mean, Sturtz is an awesome player. Another one of these older players who I think bucks a lot of the trends against them. Like, has been productive for so long. Has been good in different. I mean, not different systems since he's followed Ben McCollum ever, but like different kinds of talent, and is someone who is going to fit. I mean, leave it to the Thunder to draft a 6'3" dribble pass shoot guard. When they already have a bunch of those guys on the roster. Like, that's clearly just what they do, and yeah, like, again, if AJ Mitchell and J-Dub were healthy last year, maybe they win the finals. But obviously they weren't, and building in as much like secondary creation insurance on a Shea team makes sense to me, because as long as Shea is the level of player that he is, which hopefully for the Thunder you will be for a long time, like he is going to just be relentlessly pressured in the postseason, the way that we've seen the last couple of years, and having players like Sturtz makes that a lot harder to execute.
Pablo, what are you thinking about?
Too small, too old, too white.
Okay.
Kill him!
Okay.
I must be in the minority. I hated this pick for them. Well, but I mean, who cares? Because they're going to be good no matter what. But I think they've programmed in a weakness. I think this guy is not athletic. I think his athleticism is going to make everything he does harder in the NBA. I think he'll be a defensive
in the playoffs
hole.
this year, when there was like 4 guys like hitting Shea in the head with baseball bats and nobody else could do anything on offense, were you like, thank God there's no weaknesses on this team? Were you like cool with how that went?
Well, I was like, God, I wish they just had a Cam Carr to pass out to a dynamic shooter like that.
Caruso had 30 on all threes, man. Come on.
If we have to go,
don't ask Cam Carr to dribble the basketball.
Don't do it. Don't do it. But if we have to go playmaking, I just would go else. I don't know who. I forget everyone else who is available at this spot, but I'm just
maybe
not
the
a
next
Bennett
pick.
I'm not a Bennett Sturtz guy at all. So I think I would have pulled more of a Charlotte and doubled down on the strengths. I would have gone Cam Carr or someone else that I like that I'm forgetting who exists. I don't know, but I don't love it.
Well, I think you are in the minority. I don't know, but I hate him because he went to Iowa.
Because it's a white country.
I just said I hated him because he went to Iowa. I'm more anti-white than you are, dude.
You guys like him because he's white. And you know what? This is a new meta in the NBA. Everyone needs. This is probably why they drafted him. Everyone needs their little unproven white boy who's untouchable. Like, I mean, we have Boston. They have several.
Pritchard. Take your pick, honestly.
In Miami, apparently they're like, I forget who reported it. They're like, yeah, Milwaukee had to fight hard for Jockey Jonas. Like they really did not want to give up Jockey Jonas. I mean, every team has one of these little white boys. And I'll tell
Christian
you
Brown, you can't. No one can have him. Don't even pick up.
he
the phone,
was
dude.
untouchable. But I mean, it was, and then it was justified for a year, and then it was like Jesus Christ. But I was so terrified the Celtics were going to take Richie Saunders at 27 because I was like, they will not.
He's
they
still
won't-
might in the second round.
They won't know how to behave if they end up with a little white boy who can actually do things on both sides of the ball. So honestly, well, I guess Richie Saunders can't dribble either, but I think Richie Saunders is better than Sturts. But yeah, well, as we go on, as we see what players are available, I'll say if OKC should take him.
Does this guy cross the Sturts threshold? That's the question. Well, does Ibuka Okori?
That would have been more interesting, honestly. Yeah, I think he's better than Sturts.
Okay. Pablo, you have described him. This is from memory as possibly the most canon small guard in the draft. I think that's what you said about him the last time we talked. Ben, my question for you is: the Pistons are in a spot where they need serious creation to help Cade pretty much immediately. And they traded up. This was the second trade back for Memphis, correct? The Pistons gave stuff up to get into this spot. Okay.
Yeah, they gave up second round picks. I think
Okay.
3 second round picks to trade up for Ibuka. Yeah.
Okay. How does Okori fit the bill of helping Cade right away, and how do you expect him and Cade to interact with each other?
Yeah, this is one of the picks of the draft to me, pretty clearly. I mean, I think Okori was like a draft Twitter darling for a long time, and I certainly share that. Like, again, like even with this, these are the kind of teams that need to be taking small guards when your like initiator is 6'6" and you have a bunch of freaky defensive players around him. And Ibuka, I think, is like the kind of player who could genuinely push the Pistons over the top if he hits the kind of ceiling that I think he can. Like best in class first step, arguably best in class ball handling, credible shooter, credible defender. Like, yeah, he's not tall, but he has a 6'7", 6'8" wingspan, is incredibly strong functionally. And I thought his defensive film was pretty good this year as well, relative to a freshman guard on a truly awful Stanford team doing everything for them on offense. And like his volume and efficiency as a creator were pretty much only matched by the top 3 this year. Like he was unbelievable as a load-bearing creator, and he's not the most amazing passer in the world. Like he didn't have great passing options at Stanford, but I think he clearly has limitations with like his high-end vision against pressure and like the skip passing stuff. But again, when you're playing with Cade Cunningham, like doesn't really matter. You're never going to be asked to be the primary playmaking option. And like he could be good enough to be like a bench initiator just because, like we've said with some other players, the way he can break down defenses and create advantages will make passing windows for him. But yeah, I think Ibuka is one of the coolest players in the draft, and this is one of my favorite fit X value combinations. A guy who I view as like a mid-lottery caliber player, falling this far. And honestly, he went higher than I thought he was going to go. Like he was getting mocked in like the late 20s at times.
Yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised with how high. I was prepared for him to go to like the Celtics or something and just be so annoyed by that. But
there was I follow a few Nuggets draft guys, and I don't remember all of the people this one guy liked, but I think it literally might have been his like big 3 was for them was like Swain, Sturts, Okori, and they just go like back to back to back, and he's like, I'm turning it off. I'm not even watching this shit anymore, dude. Pablo?
I think it's awesome.
You already mentioned he crosses the Sturts threshold. What do you think about Okori?
Yeah, he's better than Sturts to me.
For what it's worth, I would have also taken Okori over Sturts.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, his game against, I think it was North Carolina, right? Like, that might be the best game of anyone I watched this year. He was just, like, monstrous. And so, yeah, he's got the Halliburton quality if he could play fast without making mistakes. He's just so dynamic in so many ways. Unfortunately, he's too small, so I do think he should be killed. But I do think he will make this Pistons team better, at very least, for a few years. But yeah, I mean, if OKC got him, oh man, that'd be, you know what? Let's celebrate.
Yeah, I think that a Corey game, I agree with you, was one of the very best prospect games of the cycle. I think that's quite a few elite games came against Stanford. Like I think Boozer had his best game maybe against Stanford as well.
Okay. Who is next? It goes to Corey. Then it goes Christian Anderson. Is this a Sturts threshold guy for you, Pablo?
Nah. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I don't know if I like him more than Sturts, but he's also a guy who like the too small kill him for me.
Okay.
He's like, for me, he's on ball Jace Richardson. Whereas like last year, Jace Richardson was an incredible off ball guard. And it's like, he's a genius. He's good at everything. He knows where to be. He does everything right. He's just too small. Honestly,
what we're saying is Anderson is going to smack his head on the side of the backboard in the dunk contest this year.
Is that what wait, did Jace get injured from that?
I don't know if he actually got injured, but it looked painful.
The fall was very. I remember there was like tweets right after where it's like, this is the downside. This is why you see stars not doing it anymore. It's because everyone's hitting their heads.
But yeah, Christian Anderson is kind of an on-ball god. Like he chucks up a trillion pull-up threes, makes them all. He's a great passer. He's a great ball handler. He's just too small for me.
Ben, you said the Hornets have really tripled down on their identity. Do you think
I forgot this is the Hornets?
I
This
like
is crazy. Yeah.
I would have preferred a more like downhill advantage creaty type guard for the Hornets since they have just so many pull-up shooters in their team. But like clearly, Anderson I think has a real argument as
We
the best
don't
shooter.
address weaknesses here. We double down.
Anderson has a very credible case to me as the best shooter in the draft, like and the best like dribble pass shoot player in the draft, and that's obviously what the Hornets like in their perimeter players. Like he's going to be so awesome as a ghost screener, you know, running quick pick and rolls, second side actions. Like he, again, I wish like obviously Ibuka wasn't an option, but like a guy who can like break down switches is what they need in the backcourt. Like Kobe White isn't that guy, but he was that guy for them down the stretch. And I think Anderson, I mean, like again, he's a great player. This is where I have him valued. I think he's like a late lottery, mid first kind of talent, like just with how incredible of a pick and roll on ball creator he is. And again, like he is small, no doubt, but he tries hard on defense. Like he's got decent instincts, so it's not like I probably prefer him to Sturts on defense, I'd say. Like, I think he's a little smaller than Sturts, but has a little bit more to him on that end. A little more physicality, a little more oomph, maybe.
It's official. He's over the Sturts line. It would be way cooler to see him on OKC.
Anderson, yeah. I mean, Anderson is like, again, good player. Clearly a fit with what they like. And again, some teams clearly, like the Hornets, like we're going to not use the draft as a way to patch holes, but way to double triple down on what we do.
Is Kobe White extended, or
no.
How long is he on this?
They got to figure that out.
He's an expiring. Yeah, he Anderson deal signals to me that he might not be coming back, but
save the Pistons, Kobe White.
They could use him. I mean, I think they clearly, as we saw in like the playing games down the stretch, like playoff defenses are going to give them trouble with how like movement and spacing reliant all the non-LaMelo guys are. Khan obviously could get there, but like he had the injury stuff towards the end of the year, like whatever. But I think Miller is clearly not like a half-court advantage creator in his future, even if I think he's a pretty good player. But.
Yeah. Okay. Alan Graves to the Toronto Raptors. Masai might be gone, but we're still drafting 6'9", guys. We're still taking the
drafting
6'9".
what the computer says to do. Computer, take him.
Yeah, so the Raptors have a pretty desperate need for shooting and floor spacing. And Esbar Henny, friend of the program, before this pick, he was like, I got a couple guys. And then after the pick, he was like, they didn't take any of them. Oh, no.
And it's so easy to see Cam Carr in a Raptors jersey, too.
So, Ben, do you think Graves is a good enough player to prioritize talent over addressing? I know he can shoot a little bit, 40%-ish or whatever, but like not like a pick that addresses the spacing need necessarily.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one, no doubt. Like he's not a volume shooter, and like the Raptors were a low volume shooting team last year from three. I'd imagine it's going to be the same this year. I can't imagine that's going to be something they really change up, but I don't know. It's another pick that I'm like okay about because I do think his talent level he to me is kind of like a sneaky boomer bust case where like he's not he's an underwhelming athlete, no doubt. He's an inconsistent defender, has like a pretty weak handle and might just not be as dynamic of a scorer to thrive despite his great rebounding and connective passing. However, he has some of the freakiest defensive playmaking instincts you'll ever see, like unbelievable pass lane jumping, secondary rim protection, rotations, and again, I feel like so many teams in this range we're talking about, like they just doubling down on their thing, and the Raptors are doing that. This is probably not the direction I would have personally gone. Like our guy S, I probably would have had a couple other guys who I would have wanted to take before this. I mean, I mocked them one of the guards and pretty much. Actually, no, Phylon was still there. I think passing on Phylon like for Graves is a mistake. But ultimately, like I don't hate it. I don't have crazy strong feelings about this pick. Like I get it. It's Raptors-y. I'm certainly not like even close to as high on Graves as I was like on CMB last year, who was a legit incredible prospect to me on the defensive end. Where like Graves could be, but definitely hasn't shown that level of consistent impact yet.
Pablo?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he's the computers say that he's going to be the superstar. So
the computer does say that he's going to be a superstar. That is true.
I suppose that's why they took him. I mean, I also don't think it's like bad, but I mean, when they took Colin Murray Boyles last year, I was like, I don't know about this. I mean, they already have Scotty Barnes. Already seems to have worked out. Like I think they'll be able to make it work. But
like, how many of these players can you stack?
Yeah,
is an interesting question to me. Like I wonder if there becomes like a point of diminishing returns where it's like you can only get so much out of these kinds of players you have 5 of. But I mean, Graves is really talented. Like talented, all-time statistical indicators, like clear, translatable. S tier, S plus tier, like strengths, even if the weaknesses are obviously there as well.
Yeah, so maybe it'll be good. Maybe the computer will lie. We'll see.
We'll see. Okay, the Spurs, Jaden Quaintance, a man after my another. Speaking of someone who's torn my ACL. A man whose knee
he's done more than
exploded.
that.
I mean, yeah, his knee really everything. We're
reports. Gonna need a new leg, honestly.
Yeah. Truly, like this is a guy that if he could have been first on the depth chart when the Kirk stuff went down, he would have really benefited from that. He will need additional meniscus surgery to clean up discomfort in the knee stemming from the crazy injury, obviously. So he'll probably miss time to start this season.
He only had one injury, but like the complications for that have clearly lingered. Like it was a spring 2025 injury that like is clearly lingering.
And he's just now getting to the follow-up procedure to clean it up or whatever. But so yeah, that's the negative, obviously, is this is a very scary injury guy. The Spurs are a team that last year only had 3 guys listed from 6'7" to 7 feet tall, which is Champagny, Harrison Barnes, and Bismack Biyombo. So,
Plumlee was on that bench.
No, I'm saying between 6'7" and 7 feet tall. So 7 feet, I think Olynyk technically makes it or whatever. But regardless, not a ton of in between size. It's Wemby, and then it's like 4 guys who are like 6'6" or whatever. So assuming Quaintance can get healthy, how do you think he changes the way the Spurs can play basketball?
Yeah, I mean, this is the kind of pick where if he's healthy, like totally changes your life. And I think Quaintance has the ceiling to be the best defender in the league, not named Victor Wembanyama, and now they play on the same team. Like true center measurables with wing plus movement skills, and he was so dominant as a 17-year-old on defense in college basketball. He doesn't turn 19 until July 11th. So like he is still 18 years old despite missing almost his entire sophomore year.
7-11?
That's my
7-Eleven.
fiance's birthday. Oh my god!
No
Your
way.
you have the same
No.
birthday as Jaden Quaintance. He plays for the Spurs now.
As of yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. She's not as
That
excited.
sounds real enthusiastic.
It just came up out of nowhere because he turns 19 soon. Yeah. Yeah. So I wanted to ask Pablo, Ben. I don't know if we've explained the locked door with no key to you.
Yeah.
Have we?
No.
The
Well,
locked
you know the Steelers defenses of the 70s, the Steel Curtain,
I'm
Um,
familiar, yes.
the Legion of Boom, Seattle. Like, we have all these famous defenses. I think
Mhm.
the Spurs can literally be an completely impenetrable defense with Wemby, with the right personnel around him. It's why I was anti acquiring Trae Young, because I don't think they could. Because I want the locked door with no key defense. Because you know how when you lock a door and you don't have a key, you cannot
get in there.
that room. You cannot get in that room. And so I think Trae Young would be a key. So I wouldn't really want that. And so, but Jaden Quaintance, this is like the what's that called? The bolt lock?
A deadbolt, I believe.
This is a deadbolt on the freaking door, dude. This is freaking epic.
Yeah. So I do think, assuming health again, this moves us quite close to the
But-
locked door with no
Yeah,
key.
but I am worried about the health. Now that we got this secondary update, I'm like, did we need to take him here? Because if he's not going to play at all next year, we still have a big hole at center, and I don't know. I mean, could you have taken someone else here, perhaps a Cam Carr, and then like traded back to get him? I don't know. I really don't know. But
I mean, they did the inverse where they traded in to get Terrace Reed, so maybe not.
Yes.
oh, they
yeah. Terrace Reed is on the Spurs.
at 27 or whatever.
Mhm.
26,
Oh.
I think. Yeah.
Okay, so they addressed it a little bit, but yeah, I mean, but if we were able to shoot a health ray at Jaden Quaintance, pew, Karl Anthony Towns, you're not scoring ever again, idiot.
Yeah, no. If that is true. If we hit him with a good health blast, he'd be.
and
set for life.
maybe they just took him just in case because they're like, what if he is the Wemby stopper?
I mean, you
No-
really can just like put him in cryo sleep and pray. Like
Yeah.
I think that's a real option.
Mhm.
and he's a nerd, right? So him and Wemby are going to get along off
Oh,
the
they
court.
can read Sanderslop together.
I don't know if he's that kind of nerd. He's definitely anime nerd, but I don't know about fantasy.
Well, that's the cooler kind of nerd to be. Fuck fantasy nerds. If you're a fantasy
Yeah.
nerd listening to this, go watch some
Yeah,
anime, dude. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Kareem Lopez to the Grizzlies. So this is the first ever Mexican NBA player drafted in the first round. So a huge
From
step
Mexico.
forward.
Full blood.
Full
Mexican.
okay, from
Shout
Mexico.
out Jaime Jaquez.
Yeah, sure. I was curious when I was typing this out, and I was like, "What about Jaime Jaquez?" And I did no follow up to it at all.
Must
I
be
think the last
Chilean.
blood Mexican drafted was Eduardo Najera.
Who is that?
Okay. So Kareem Lopez, plus 5 second rounders, like you said. That's why I wrote down the Grizzlies
Yeah,
farmed 5 second round picks to move back here. Kevin O'Connor called him Aaron Gordon without elite athleticism. Many people were quick to point out that's not that good of a player.
What
So,
did he call Koa Pete?
I don't know. I didn't. This was just one tweet, and like everyone was quoting it, and Kevin O'Connor was responding, being like, "Oh, that's hilarious, dude." So, my question for Ben is, how much of a
Oh,
project?
Ben's friend Kevin O'Connor.
Yeah, friend of the program,
Yep.
pretty much. So, how much of a project
Getting
player,
in our self-driving Teslas together, you know.
dude? That I texted Pablo glazing a cuff in your self-driving Tesla. Just like I was literally like crying, laughing at that video.
And
So
Kevin O'Connor's crazy because he has been like for years. He's like Trae Young is ass. His defense takes away all of his offense. He's horrific. But
Mhm.
simultaneously, he's like Acuff is the next guy.
What if Trae Young was cool, dude?
Years ago, he was like Tyrell Terry's the next guy. Could be Steph.
Man, Tyrell Terry would have been if he wasn't depressed.
Mm.
And he was
out
off.
to
He
him,
was
though. Hope
Seth
he's
Curry.
doing better
He
these
was
days.
Seth Curry.
Guy talking about another guy's depression. He wasn't that fuck that guy.
I wish he was happy so you could see him bust.
So yeah, I think the Grizzlies killed it so well this draft that they might not have pure developmental minutes for that long. Like if they are ahead of schedule, where do you think Kareem Lopez like slots into a team like that? Do you think there are avenues for him to have impact pretty soon, or are we a bit far away?
I think so. I think he can impact the game sporadically. And like he was a good player in the NBL this year, which is worth noting to some extent. He's like a long way from his peak form, where I think the real intriguing stuff with Kareem is like legitimate functional strength and athleticism
Boom,
with
boom,
ball skills.
boom.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly my thought. Like he has real wiggle and shift on the ball. Like there's one I reference this literally every time I talk about Kareem. Like there's an incredible clip of him like shaking the fuck out of JaVale McGee and scoring on him in one of those games. It's just
I
so
forgot
awesome.
he's down there.
He like has so much room to grow as a playmaker, as an on and off ball defender. Technically, still not a perfectly consistent shooter, and like not my favorite player. I think he's just kind of like mediocre at a lot of things, but can like, can create some turnovers on defense, rebound a little bit, slash a little bit. And again, I don't think you can talk about this pick without talking about it as Kareem plus 5 second-round picks, which in that case, I mean, hard to be too upset about it.
Yeah. Pablo?
I think he's cool. I really do love the power driving game.
He is fun. He's a cool player.
It's entirely possible he just is too big a liability on the perimeter and never comes around as a rim defender to really be that playable. But I choose to have optimism. I choose to believe in a few years. Ooh, cough break.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I choose to believe in a few years. His job on this roster is just God, I'm getting beat down by Cam Boozer and Edie this entire game. Oh, finally they went to the bench. Oh, thank God. I'm finally going to get a reprieve. Oh, no. Freaking Kareem Lopez is here. And he keeps
he will
punching.
beat the crap out of you.
Yeah, I think people are going to have some ribs broken against this freaking team. I really
he's
like
a cool player.
this
I think
power
he's like,
game.
You know the meme format where it's like the two paths diverging and one is like rainbow sunshine and the other is just like stormy death. Like that's Nate Ahmed versus Kareem Lopez to me. Like opposite sides of that coin in terms of vibes.
Nice.
Well, and obviously, if Ahmed was going 21, you probably think that.
Yeah. If the Bucks were like Lopez, bring him up here at 10 or whatever.
We'd probably yeah.
Oh, I'd be so sad if he went to the Bucks.
Yeah, that would be tough. Okay. We can do LeBaron Philon to the 76ers. I saw a guy on Twitter say it's funny after all the McCain outrage where it's like, what are we doing? Shipping off McCain for second rounders? And then it's like now LeBaron Philon plus 3 seconds is a pretty reasonable return for Jared McCain.
I'm not going to say the process was good for that deal, but like the results are pretty nice.
I believe this pick is from that trade.
It is.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, the process is crazy, but nobody cares about process anymore. Everyone's just freaking results biased the whole time.
Because of Ozempic, probably, or something, maybe.
Yeah, dude. You know how there's no freaking...
And AI and prediction markets, of course.
Mm-hmm. Polymarket was here.
And Gooning.
And Zion. Yeah,
and
that's what happened
Zion.
to him. Mm-hmm.
Zion needs to go to the Grizzlies, dude. Ja for Zion.
Broken ribs? You're like, Kareem Lopez, finally he's out of the game, dude. I can catch my breath. Zion.
What's the Bucks tweet?
What's Kenny Lofton up to these days?
Oh, he was there already. We have his number.
He was. Bring him back.
Mm-hmm. What Bucks tweet?
Where it's like, oh, you're tired of the Giannis didn't pick and roll? Here's a Chris Middleton his spleen trash in your face. Yeah. Oh, you're tired of the Cam Boozer Edie pick and roll? Here's a Kareem Lopez shoulder drive to your face.
Nice. Pablo, do you have any LeBaron Philon thoughts?
Too small, too skinny.
Okay.
What do you think,
great.
Ben?
Yeah, I love Philon. I mean, I had him like 7 or 8. He's so fucking good. Like he is very skinny. But he plays stronger than he is, and he like has already shown like improvement in the strength department from year 1 to year 2. So I like that it's like, okay, you've already done some of it. You can see it continuing to improve, but one of the best live dribble creators in the entire class. Like unbelievable handles, change of direction, touch from all levels, improved as a pull-up shooter this year, is a pretty solid passer, if nothing special. I mean, I'm curious about the Sixers of it all. Like, again, they
Yeah.
clearly like to have a lot of their creators, and like, I think he can develop into a true point guard just because of how skilled he is and how good of an advantage creator he is. Like, we've had this conversation a couple times about different players, but like, VJ, Maxey all have playmaking limitations. I think Phylon can be a better passer than both of those guys for sure. But ultimately, for me, the value is just so good that it's hard for me to say anything but slam dunk.
Yeah, he crosses the Sturts line for me, and he does have a lot of really like the traits themselves are incredible driver, really good passer. The jump shooting improvement is crazy, but yeah, it's just in addition to just like he's small, he's skinny, and he's not that great of an athlete. So it's hard for me to buy in. Who went after him?
Zuby.
Yeah.
Zuby. Oh yeah, we
Uh,
think we kind of covered it.
It's
Who's
like
who's he on?
The
Hawks.
Hawks.
Yeah,
I
too,
like
too
Zuby
small,
a good
but
bit.
he's so good.
He is. It's just like a weird fit for Atlanta. Like they have so many of these kinds of players. He is very good. Like that's no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Arguably the most switchable defender in the entire draft to me.
Okay. I have to go. I have movie tickets to see Ocean's 11, but I would say I am the least knowledgeable draft person on this phone call. So I will introduce one Cameron Carr to the Lakers, and I will ask Ben, how do you think Carr slots in next to Luca and Reeves? Because he can't dribble, and both of those guys can do all of that stuff for him.
So awesome. I
All
mean,
right.
Derek Jones Jr. plus for the Luca once upon a time acolyte, right? Like I tweeted this morning. I did like I got 2 words for you: Luka Doncic and Cameron Carr must see TV with like Cam Carr dunks, and people are like, "That's not 2 words," and I'm like, "How the fuck?" Do you know? But yeah, I mean, there weren't really any true like lob threat bigs for Luka, but Carr is one of the best dunkers, one of the most explosive players in the class, while being a legit movement shooter who can really block shots from the wing. Like, this is an awesome player who I am very much a fan of.
Yeah, these are the exact types of guys you need to build around Luca. Honestly, the template is very easy to build around Luca. You could argue how high the ceiling of it is, but this is they're definitely on the right track here. Well, how do you feel about his perimeter defense?
Can get better. I think he's very weak, and like his closeouts aren't great. His footwork isn't perfect. Like it's going to be a project for him defending the ball, definitely.
Yeah.
But I think like he has the tools to make it work. Like 6'4" with a 7'1" wingspan is crazy. And then off the ball, like I said, I think he led Baylor this year in block rate, which is hilarious.
It was like 4, right?
Yeah, which is insane for like a wing of his size and his archetype.
Yeah, so this is incredible value. Who went after him? Do you have the draft picks?
I do. So Sergio De La Rey originally was a Knicks trade-in, but we later found out that it's Dallas, which I really
he
like.
went to Dallas.
Yeah, he did. I really like that actually. Like they badly needed backcourt talent, and De La Rey is really good. Like he played in a finals game 2 days ago. Well, like he's still playing basketball, and he is 6'6", really excellent pick and roll playmaker, good shot maker. I think good enough athletically to like make use of his size as a slasher and as a defender. Like there's a really good like role player point guard to me. Like I don't know, like a Grievous Vasquez ish, like a one of these kind of players who's like never going to be so flashy, but is someone who's constantly going to be impactful offensively, creating shots for others. I was going to say, I think I actually compared Sturts to Vasquez. Who did I compare De La Rey to? But yeah, one of the picks I liked quite a bit in this draft. I mean, just clearly a good, impactful player. I did do Vasquez for him. I did Calderon for.
Oh,
Sturts.
I do get them mixed up too. Yeah.
You see what I mean? But yeah, I think he's a great good off-ball threat because of his shooting. Obviously, Cooper Flagg is going to do a lot of initiating. Kyrie, obviously, if he's healthy, I think those two are a logical pairing too.
Did you watch the ESPN broadcast, or which broadcast did you watch? Oh, because you were streaming, right?
I
So you
had
weren't listening.
ESPN on mute in the background, but I was streaming, so I didn't see anything.
They had Fran Fraschilla for this pick,
Oh
give
boy.
his analysis, and it was kind of weird. He's like, guys, this is a shooter. Do not listen to anybody who tells you he's a point guard. This is a shooter. He's just a shooter. And I was like, okay, relax. But yeah, he's very, because there's a lot of these guys who come into the NBA, these tall Europeans, these freaking Vrens Blagenberg. What was that guy's name?
Shout out friends. Oh my god.
There's Bolmaro, but he was a little
Lamaro couldn't shoot.
yeah, that, like, none of these guys can ever shoot. That's usually the big hurdle. But this guy is a really high level shooter, right? And a little saucy playmaking. How much do you think? How much do you see him off on ball? What's the on ball off ball split for him?
Definitely, he's a complimentary guy to me. Like, not like a lead playmaker by any means. I mean, 38% of his possessions this year were pick and roll ball handlers, and I would probably like to see that go down at the NBA level. But he was efficient, like really great skip passer, has some manipulation and vision on the move, and yeah, he shot 40% on 86 catch and threes this year. He shot 37% on 41 pull up threes this year. It's like a really credible shot maker who I think has like the decisiveness, decision making aspect as well to play off the catch and to operate next to Cooper Flag. So yeah, this is one of my, honestly, like when the Knicks made this pick, I'm like, I like De La Rey. He's a good player and like he's going to impact. So, like I was fine, but I think this one, this I like even better.
Yeah, it's a very rare combination of traits. I'll be interested to see how he works out. And
He's cool.
Defensively, he works very hard, right? He has athletic limitations. How do you feel about him overall? Will he be a plus?
I don't know about a plus, but I definitely don't see him as like a player who's breaking your defense by any means. Like he is legit 6'6" with a long wingspan and tries hard enough. Like he can pressure with his length on defense. That definitely shows up. Pretty weak, but like has a high motor. Like I said, has that length. Is usually trying to put him in places to impact the game. So, and again, with Merez, with Cooper, with Derek Lively, like not like there's going to be a ton of pressure on him to carry a lot of defensive load.
Yeah. Who is after him?
Terrace Reed is next.
Okay.
We kind of talked about this a little bit earlier. And I do have to go in like 10-ish minutes to set up my stream. 10,
Rapid fire. Can he play backup minutes in the playoffs for the Spurs next year?
I think so. I mean, he's a very unique player, like one of the strongest, heaviest players in the draft, but is nimble, has one of the highest steal rates among centers in this draft, like really instinctual off-ball defender, great passer, like not a scorer by like he was a post scorer in college, and he isn't a floor spacer by any means, and he's not like a dynamic rim protector, but like these are all weaknesses that are mitigated by playing on the San Antonio Spurs. So I really like that fit. It's around I mean, I viewed Terrace as like a, like a pretty quality talent, like mid-late first, honestly. And again, Terrace is a guy who like, he's just a good player. And even if you wanted to take him as high as like 15, 16, 17, I would have understood it. Like he's just a good player. And I think he'll be a good role player for the Spurs. And yeah, again, who knows with rookies in the playoffs, but he's an older rookie, has been a contributor on high level college teams for quite some time, like Michigan to UConn, like he's done a lot of winning.
Who went after him?
After him was Chris Sinak to the Boston Celtics.
Oh, yeah. You are a Sinak guy, correct?
I'm not a Sinak guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not really either.
I'm not a Sinak.
Incredible body, but kind of nothing else, right?
Yeah, I mean, he is genuinely elite physical tools, like strength, length, height, explosiveness, fluidity, lateral quickness, like has the tools to be a game changer on defense. And he's great on the boards, but like had like a sub 20 free throw rate despite being a crazy athlete, like is not, despite having some shooting projections, is like general, like is a very shaky shooter to me.
Yeah.
The feel for the game is very questionable, but hey, I think Boston is a place where I mocked him there a couple times pre-draft, and it's the kind of environment that you want for a play like that. Like Boston has shown a track record of developing these toolsy athletic players. Like I think of what they've turned Jordan Walsh into over the last couple of years. Like obviously Jalen, a big example of that. So I think Sinak, like hopefully not pressure to play much early, at least like in meaningful reps, because I would imagine it would go poorly. But again, he's also one of the youngest players in the draft too. So he has plenty of time. And it is a bit of a reach for me, but I'm optimistic about the landing spot, even though like you alluded to, Sinak is nothing crazy just as a player purely.
Yeah, you would hope with that body, like you would just stumble into more steals and blocks, but it didn't happen for that. And
Shot
not an incredible
blocking
defensive
blocking
team,
is hard
right?
to develop, I think.
Yeah. Has there ever been someone who jumps off the top of your mind who's sucked at blocking shots in college and developed it later?
Not
Probably-
really. Like
probably
Herb
not.
Jones in like his third or fourth year took a nice leap as a help side rim protector, but that was also partly a role thing with
Yeah.
with what the hell. Not really.
Rui doesn't get blocks, does he? No.
No.
Yeah.
No.
All right. Who's next pick?
Next. 28, Josh Jefferson to the Nets. Another quality pick. Just like another good role player bet to me. The Nets clearly have a type, like unathletic big guys with ball skills, you know?
Yeah.
But Jefferson is like very large, incredibly functionally strong, and is a legitimate like plus passer who can like kind of shoot a little bit. The scoring is my main worry. Like especially this year, he really struggled with like high usage as a scorer. He's just not quick, pretty stiff, struggles to create easy looks for him. But that's not going to be his role, right? You know.
Yeah.
And I think ultimately he and Michael. Good vibe shift to me, considering how poor last year's draft looked on draft night. And, you know, I feel like none of us are that crazy optimistic going forward.
Yeah. And a very good team defender, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Who's after him?
After the Kings traded up to take Alex Caravan, who I'm
yes, I thought because this was the Cavs pick, right? That they traded. I was like, the Cavs are taking another one of these guys, but no.
Caravan, great movement shooter, very very slow, pretty credible second side passer, but like. I don't get why the Kings did this. Like it's like again, like I have him way lower than this. But even if you know a team like the Cavs that's contending can use just spacers, whatever. But I don't get why the Kings did this. This one makes very little sense to me, honestly.
I bet I'll tell you exactly how the conversation went. What can we really use after getting Akov? Oh, let's get a shooter. You always need more shooting. Okay, let's get one with championship experience. Okay, we'll take him.
And then last,
that's how those baby brains operate.
Last is the Suns traded in for Koa Pete, which is another one that I don't like that much. Like whatever. I mean, I had Pete.
Who do you like more between him and Kareem?
Kareem for sure. I think Kareem has shown way more as like a legit offensive player. Pete is like a pure tools project to me. Like he's got nice touch in the intermediate. He is built like a brick house and is pretty explosive linearly. And he had some moments defending on the ball as well, but like very low feel to me, despite some like decent passing numbers, cannot shoot at all, cannot dribble, pretty clunky defender in space with just like, who just wasn't that great to me this year. Like had some good stretches, like was productive in the tournament, but I mean, whatever. It's like clearly a developmental project to me, but like they drafted Rasheer Flemings last year, who like, or Rasheer Fleming, Kingston Fleming's on the mind, who was like, I thought definitely a better prospect than Koa, and I think had a better, like was really impressive to me this year. So whatever, it's the 30th pick. I mean, I don't like the pick, but I can't hate on it too much.
How about this is the Aaron Gordon bet?
I mean, look, there's the Arizona connection. I mean,
their stats are actually a little bit similar.
Pete is a good athlete, but just like Gordon was levels above as an athlete.
Have you done him for your like retro scouting videos?
I have watched. I don't know if I've done I might have done I've definitely watched him and referenced him on the channel. Like he was such one of the, like, if your sell is going to be like athletic tools bet, you need to be Aaron Gordon level special in that area, because he really couldn't shoot. His passing was better than Koa, I think, and his defense was definitely better than Koa. I mean, Aaron Gordon went top 5 or whatever, obviously.
But it was a different era.
Twas.
And that's it.
And
That
that
was
is
the
the
last
first round.
All right. Thank you for joining us, Ben Pfeifer. Ben Pfeifer on Twitter or BJPF? What is it?
JPF _ Ben Pfeifer on YouTube. I'm going to be live in T-minus 20 minutes talking about
Whoa.
the second round of the NBA draft.
What's
So-
your live schedule, or is this just a draft thing?
It's just for the draft, basically.
Oh, okay.
I was live for all of day one. Going to be live for all of day two, basically.
Guys,
Which I am excited about.
Ben Pfeifer, former Celtics draft consultant. Consume his work while you can. A lot of people get hired. See ya.
Up tempo means I'm going to run you into the ground.